Hey, I think we're leave. Leave. We're live. Um, this is me, the weekly Alaboom. Uh, Waiting for other people to show up, obviously. Um, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not here to milk the fact that Barry's no longer with us, but obviously, normally Barry would be here right at the beginning. So it's kind of weird. That's fine though. I enjoy talking, discussing a few things. I know Anthony said that he will be showing up in a little bit. He won't be able to get in until probably another 40 to 50 minutes. He's got something going on. And then Scott usually rolls in um relatively soon, which will be cool. But until then, what's going on? I managed to get the just boring work stuff finalized our booth for Dallas, Texas. And hey, Scott's just show up right now. So there you go. Oh, tonight's official drink is Barks Zero. That is the hey Scott.
Hey.
Tonight's official drink is Barks Zero. Root beer with some caffeine.
Okay.
Even though Kabuki Kid says that's horrible. I think
No, it's no good.
yeah, no. She's like, oh, the caffeine screws up the taste. It's like, no, it's just a different taste.
You can taste caffeine. I thought it was kind of flavorless, isn't it? Or is it
I
not?
thought, I mean, that's just it, right? I mean, like people say,
Although I think I might be getting affected more by caffeine lately.
hey, my mom's tuned in.
Hey, what's your mom's name?
Luana Vetter. So
Hey,
my
Luana.
mom too. Yeah. Um,
Mrs. Vetter? Mrs. Vetter? What does she go by?
Ms. Well,
Ms.
I think she just goes by Lance's mom. That's what she goes.
Lance's mom.
Stick H is here. Kip Liggett's here.
Man, the
Uh,
week went by quick.
yeah. I can't believe Kabuki Kid hasn't. Yeah, hi, Lance. Lance's mom, Kip. Well done, Stick. So no, I was just saying. I got my. I think I've got all of our booths situated for. Well, the booths
Essen?
situated. We got a time for BGG Con, but
Oh, BGG Con.
as
You
far
guys
as
aren't
like
going
what we're
to
gonna
Essen.
bring and stuff. What?
You're not going to Essen, right?
No, but we will have people there. I mean, like if you're going to Essen and you want to like show a game off or something, Josh and Shane will both be in attendance. Probably at the King Raccoon booth. Um, and so if you want to track
King
them down,
Raccoon.
yeah, King Raccoon, the people did Tsukiyumi. They're Germany based, so
Oh, okay.
I think that we won't have any of our product there. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, and I'm wearing the Bigfoot hat tonight, so you know.
The what?
I'm wearing my
Oh, the
Bigfoot
Bigfoot.
hat. I found it. I had lost it forever. I thought I'd lost my Bigfoot hat, but Bigfoot is real.
If you say so.
Birds aren't real. So, um, so Anthony said he had a grievance. That's a really good. I have a really, really good grievance. It's one of those classics where you're like, how does this shit happen to you? But but I
It's
won't. It was um I mean it wasn't as bad as some that I've dealt with. Not
yeah.
nearly as bad. Cat, stop that. Cat's knocking
I
my
need to think
D.
about my grievances. I haven't really thought about it. I'm
Yeah,
sure I
well,
could
it's
find
good
something.
though. It's good that you don't have anything that you have to think
Um,
about. Oh, Jesus. Hold on a second. My cats are knocking my
no.
D&D minis around.
Okay.
Get out of here. Go.
Yeah, I got control of the show now. Hmm. Well, I'm very bad at talking to myself or well, to a non-visible audience. But I need interaction. I need questions to respond.
Sorry about that. He was
No problem. I'm
my,
keeping everybody entertained here.
knocking my ent around or treant or whatever.
A what?
Whatever that is. An ent, a treant.
Is that D&D minis?
Yeah, well, no, it was like
And
a
D&D
little.
minis. Do they make them anymore? They still do, right?
Yeah, but
I
now
have
it's like
so many. I
it's
have
a
a room
treant.
full, like a literal room.
2004 Wizards. You should give those to me. You don't use them.
No, they're a good collection. I'm not giving them. Although I think I've sort of, I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't want to accuse anybody, but I've noticed holes in the pockets where the beholders are.
Mm.
I don't know if someone's using them and they're gonna give them back to me, but like those are expensive.
Well, the old ones, absolutely.
I've got the old ones. These are
Yeah,
all
yeah, that's what we have
pre
too. We have
20 2000
2004,
something like
2005,
that. Yeah.
2003. Yeah, I got it.
I bought many collections on eBay. You
Oh
drop
yeah,
like
we did
$20,
too.
you get like 1,000 a mini. Yeah, I mean it was thousands of minis.
And it was and they were selling them for nothing. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
They were,
now if you sell them, they're like,
but they're all now collectible. Oh my
oh
God.
yeah, well everything's collectible. But I mean,
Especially those I I know the value of some of those things. They're quite I'm like, maybe I should just take those away from that. I mean, it's all within my company, right? I mean, I don't think it's stolen, but who knows? You never know when somebody
well, somebody takes it, they bring it somewhere, they put it
we
down,
do
they
have
forget
visitors to
about
the
it.
building sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, but it's very possible. Anyway,
No, it's just,
I'm sure that if I mentioned it to whoever plays D&D in my building, because there's a D&D group.
oh yeah.
I'm not saying it's them, but I mean, maybe a misplaced it or something.
My cats have the zoomies.
What?
You never own cats? Like late at night, they'll start getting excited and then they'll start just tearing around the house, like back and forth, back and forth.
Never owned a cat.
Yeah,
Just a dog.
yeah, no. Three dogs, two cats.
So my
Is
dog ran away when I was a kid, and when I went to college, my dog ran away.
oh, it sucks.
But they found him 3 days later, passed out in a golf course nearby the house.
Well, at
Crazy, right?
least we got back then. That's
Yeah.
good.
My grandmother found him because it was like it's a retirement community with like a little golf, like a 2-hole golf course, or
I got
maybe
you.
3 holes, something in the back, like throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and they found him like passed out on the golf course. Poor thing.
So, not trying to one up here or nothing, but years and years and years
Sad
ago.
pet story.
No, this isn't sad either. But years and years and years ago, my one of my wife's friends who had a house over nearby us, but it was near like a field of corn, right? And like one or both of her cats got out, and like they were indoor cats, they weren't normally outdoor cats, but somebody left a door open and they just wandered off because cats like to be curious and just go check out things and stuff like that. And but then they're like, well, give them a day. They'll get hungry and they come home. They know where they're smart enough to figure out to come home, right? And then
So you say.
so well, yeah, so you say, right? Um oh, so the hold on a second. Talking away.
I went to McDonald's for a Diet Coke. It's melted ice. I got a cone. I like
Um
McDonald's cones.
No cones. No,
Yep.
no. So then like
Oh yeah.
she went to like the police or whatever and said, yeah, my cat got out. Is there something I can do to like, let you guys know that if somebody reports, hey, we see a cat roaming around, like let me know so I can go. And they're like, well, no, because we don't do that. But if you call animal control, they said they actually have traps for cats that they'll loan to you.
Okay.
And it's like literally it's just a big trap, and you put some food, you put some cat food in it, and then the cat goes in, and then the thing closes behind them, so then they can't get out. And you go check it, every 4 or 5 hours, so you don't have a dead cat or something like that. And but anyway, so yeah, so she put these. I think it was just one cat, but then she put them. She got one and she put it out in the field behind her house, and like the next day she went out there and her cat was in it. It was just kind of like it was like that seems like it's like a 1 in a million shot that would happen, that it would work. But yeah, or you'd catch somebody else's cat or some feral raccoon that is trying to gnaw off your hand.
Wait.
Anyway,
So what happened to the cat?
oh yeah, I saw you.
I lost track of the. I lost
Yeah,
a little. I lost the
you were
focus.
reading something.
So I was
You were-
reading chat and I lost track. I lost a little focus.
She got one of those traps and she put it in
Okay.
the field, and then like the next day there was a cat. And it was her cat.
Was it her cat? Okay, making
Yeah,
sure.
it was like
It would be funny if there was a different cat.
Well, yeah, like I said that or like I said, a feral raccoon or something. So
Sorry, I zoned out there for a second. I missed the punchline.
you're fine. You're fine.
Anyway, uh, what am I gonna say? Oh, Michelle was away for the weekend, so I was basically home again by myself. Game group fail. COVID again. One of the guy's wives had it,
Ugh.
and the other guy's wife is very susceptible. So we thought it best to not potentially spread. The one guy tested negative the whole time, but he has not tested positive in any way, in any part. But you never know. Anyway, this weekend we're playing though. Hopefully, although one of the guys is out, so I'm back down to 3 again. I'm like, I have not had such a fragile group.
You've got to play. There are games that are just made for 3 people.
Yeah, I don't think I got any here though. I got like 1,000 games in this house. I'll find something.
Yeah.
But I have played some really great games on BGA. Oh my gosh, they are cranking out the good stuff. Have you heard of this game called? I've dropped the name already. I think thought I had it, and it's by the people who made Faraway, which is quite good. Harmonies is on BGA now. Yokohama is on BGA. It's fantastic implementation. It's really good. I played more Yokohama this week than I've played ever.
That's the reason why Taste of Initial Games went under, because you just didn't play Yokohama.
I bought many copies of that. You said back it if you back it again. Remember your little joke?
Yeah,
I backed it many times.
Well, how many times?
I have several copies.
At
least 2 super deluxe ones of what they did.
Well, the super deluxe one.
I still have a super deluxe one in shrink.
The super deluxe is worth some cash. You should be
okay. Doesn't matter, but
you should be turning. You should be. Oh my God, these cats.
But I need to find the game that I'm really jazzed about. It's so good. God damn it! It's making me take my turn. I can't get to the homepage. Hold on. Games. Castle Combo. You heard of this game?
Castle.
It's a 9-card game. You draft 9 cards.
Oh, you and these simple games.
It's so good though. It has meat. It's meaty. It's a drafting game.
There's no way a game that has only 9 cards.
If you have 9
meaty.
great plays, that I don't know, I'll tell you, man. It's true.
Draft people from the lower and upper city to create a valuable house. A quick and nifty card game by the publisher of Faraway.
I 100% stand by my statement. That is very nifty. I really like it. And it's quick.
There's no such thing as a 10-minute meaty game.
I didn't say meaty, but it's like, Faraway is meaty. Have you played Faraway?
No. Have I played games?
Right.
I don't play anything.
I know you don't play games anymore. Turn in your gamer card.
Yeah, no.
It's very good. Anyway, it's set collecting, one of those games that's just, it's got alignment, rows and columns, and you draft and you put them wherever you want in the grid. Although everything has to be next to something, so you can't make a hole, if that makes sense. You have to go left, right, up, down, from a card that already exists. You can't just put, so, although I don't know if it would really matter. You can't insert, like, if you have two cards next to each other, it's basically a 3x3 grid that sort of forms as you build it, and you can't have any gaps. At least I don't think you can. Uh, that game is fantastic. I want a copy.
And it's weight
Um,
1.38. That is not a meaty game.
it's not meaty.
Lies.
I mean, what meaty means fun to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Meaty means
It's
like
not dense.
dense. Yeah.
No, it's okay. My definition of meaty is not decent, decently viable play. I don't know, that's not the right word. Interesting play that is quick, and you can make some interest. I mean, there's quite a lot of luck in this game too, but that's besides the point. It's still fun. Plays in 15 minutes, way less than 15, honestly. I did a 2-player game. I ripped through 2-player games like less than 10 minutes. If my opponent is, I mean, I haven't won one yet, but maybe that says something that I'm not taking it. I'm not thinking long enough. So that is one of them. I have got a game of Fromage going. I got 2 games of Yokohama going. Got one with Evan. What else do I got going on? I got another game of Distilled going, and I just built my. Have you played Distilled? I think we talked.
So no, I mean,
No, you
and
don't
I
game.
tell
Okay.
no, I tell thousands of stories, but I mean, like, so, but my distilled story was story. My distilled story, um,
Distill it down to the barest.
my distilled story is.
Can you please distill your distilled story?
Yes, exactly. I was my distilled story there. That's clever, right? Is that I went Origins, not in Columbus, not this year, but the year before, is I think where they released it, or they like had Kickstarter copies there or something. I don't know. And I saw a few people carrying the game in their hands. And then Jerry, my buddy that lives in Ohio and was working the booth with me. And that was when we sold out everything by Saturday and we had nothing to sell. So we were just like sitting there with an empty booth.
Whittling your thumbs.
Yeah. And then that was when Gamma
Sure,
was
you could
like,
just
no,
play games, dude. You could have just bought
well,
some
no,
games.
Gamma said we couldn't. We could have played games at the
Could have played
table, but I
games.
mean,
It's a gaming convention.
but they said we couldn't leave the booth unmanned. And eventually they came by and felt pity for us and told us we could just put up a sign that said "Be back soon," and then we could just leave it alone. But anyway, so
Bring
and
your
he said,
stuff.
yeah, I picked up a copy of Distilled, and I was like, is it any good? He's like, I don't know, it looked really cool, and I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And I walked over, and there was this, to his credit, very kind gentleman, and I have no idea what his association was to that company in any way, shape, or form. But he was like, "Hey, you want to know more about this?" And they had like tons of people around the booth, so good on them, right? People were excited about it, and then they were like, "Hey, you wanna learn about distilled?" And I was like, "Yeah, buddy,
Let me
mine,
tell you about distilled.
yeah, like, yeah, a buddy of mine picked up a copy, and he said, oh, well, it's like, and then I can't do a credit, but he's like, so he starts going through the preamble, and I was just like, okay, I'm just letting him talk. I wasn't going to interrupt him, and then he started going through like the process of everything. And so then if you go over here and you touch this button, that affects this, and if you go over here, you affect that lever, and it goes over to here, and if you do this and affects that, and goes over here, and if you do this, it goes over here and affects it, and it's just this layer upon layer upon layer, and I was just like, I'm never gonna play this game. Just
I
like
think he did it wrong then. Maybe oversold it. I don't know. Like,
I
there's a lot of levers to pull, but you can just play it very simply.
and
Like, it's
lose.
just fun to, oh, maybe. I mean, depends on how much effort you want to put into gaming, right? I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
know.
always a better play. Um, but hold on a second. It's just fun. And everybody gets a signature ingredient, a signature drink or a liquor that is just fun to hit it. Like, you hit your you get like a boatload of points, and it's just fun. I don't know. I sort of been giving up on what do you call it?
Ever being happy again?
Recipe games.
Oh yeah.
Water deep games. It's a recipe game. You're building recipes for booze, which is not that exciting, but this game makes it exciting. They've got like a lot of levers to pull. It's got a lot of doohickeys, a lot of add-on little things you can flourish your booze. You're trying to make this booze empire. I don't know. There's something fun about it. And it does all the things I don't like, which is like the most points in Europe, the most points in Asia, the most points in America, North America,
Yeah.
Americas. And I'm like, oh, I hate that stuff, but I kind of don't care here. Just fine. Like, I'm just like, okay. And it's got like little achievements, like like if you brew or distill a 30 point or $30 value liquor or something, it's something like that, maybe like 20 something, but if you'll get like 7 points, like you want really fancy expensive um brews. Is it called brewing if you do liquor? I don't know, distilled, whatever. um I don't know, it's just super cool. And it's got a fun thing. No, here's the thing, all it is take your hand, shuffle it up of what you're making, and discard two. That's your waste runoff or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And there's technology that lets you say recover my runoff and redraw. So you draw two cards randomly out of your stack. Now it's basically, they say take the top and bottom, so it's kind of like, oh, take the top one, take the bottom, but it's really just take two cards out of the stack, shuffle it up, take two. Um, there's something fun about that. Even though I'm only playing digitally, I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't lose my really expensive ingredients on the floor, you know. And there's tech. There's, like I said, there's tech in the game that you can upgrade, and you only have 3 slots for tech. So it's not like you go crazy with tech, but you get a couple good techs and hit them a couple times, and it's fun. There's all kinds of premium ingredients, and there's premium containers like bottles and cans and stuff like that.
See, and it's just, I mean, I'm sure it's amazing. And
And it's quick. It's 8 rounds. Like you do eight. So you're on your turn. All you can do is buy one thing. That's it. Buy one thing. And if you
hmm.
buy two of the main ingredient, there's a row of free things. Oh, I don't know if they're free or cheap. I don't remember. Um, and once you get two of those, you you're done. You can buy stuff more. You can buy more stuff, but you can't do any more freebies than you do. Okay, what am I brewing? Well, I've got all these ingredients. I'm gonna make tequila, or I'm gonna try to make a tequila. Everything's try, because if you don't have the exact ingredients when you're done with it doesn't work. There's a recipe. You have to unlock recipes, right? You don't know the only thing you know how to make at the beginning is moonshine and whiskey. And moonshine means it's just alcohol and no flavorings. And whiskey has corn or wheat or something like that.
Wheaton.
I think
Will
it's whiskey,
Wheaton.
but it's
Yes.
basically like moonshine. I made moonshine. You never zonk making something. You always make moonshine. So you never,
Zonk.
you know that term, right?
Yeah, I
Zonk.
know. I love that term. Yeah,
I
you
love that term
don't
because
pick
you understand what I'm talking
don't
about
pick
when
the
I just,
zonk. Don't
yeah, yeah.
pick the
If
zonk.
you zonk on your turn, like if you lose your signature ingredients, um, by the way, if you lose your runoff ingredient of your signature ingredient, you can recover it, so you don't ever fully lose it. You always can make it in the next round. You may not make it that round, but you don't get boned. Boned?
Ah,
Yeah, it's just fun. I don't know, and I've got a couple games of it going on BGA and Fromage. I cannot stop playing Fromage. I've told you about that, right?
yes, I
Cheese
know.
making game. It's a rondelle. It's not a
Ever
rondelle.
thought about maybe getting
It's a
some work
lazy
done?
Susan.
Just a crazy
I
idea.
work all day. I work goddamn hard. I was up at 8 a.m. by the way with a meeting in France with a who lives in France about Essen. So don't give me shit about that.
I work goddamn hard.
I
I
work goddamn
deserve.
hard. I worked all day. But on the side, if you hear the BGA alert, I can go play a turn. It's only a turn. It's turn based, right? You just do one turn.
Yeah, you and your real friend Evan
Anyway,
Spells.
yeah. I mean, Robert says if it was I mean, they'd probably missed an opportunity, honestly, with the beer market. But I mean, the production of the game is amazing too. It's like I've seen it in real life. Anyway, I don't know why I'm gushing about it. It's a good game. What else? I feel like I played more. Give me a second. Got to go to my logged plays. I started logging plays. I think I told you, right?
Why?
Because then I don't have to remember what I played. Oh, I played Steam Up, A Feast of Dim Sum. Have you heard it? It's got the
I
little
know I know those words.
steamers. It's got the little steamers with the dumplings and dim sum in the pots. You know, you haven't seen it. It's super cute.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, it's not fun though. I want it to be more fun. It's not fun. Here's the thing. It will be fun for some people.
Isn't that like any game? Did I lose you, Scott? I think I lost Scott. Or maybe I lost Scott.
Maybe you get something nice on a turn, maybe you don't. Oh shit. Did I just get disconnected?
You disconnected or I disconnected or something.
I just saw a message that said your internet connection. Anyway, Feast for Dim Sum, super cute. Production's amazing. It's the deluxe version with like the little rubbery, the little milk duddy
Oh yeah, absolutely.
texture bits, like that coconuts game.
Yes. Love that game. Played that game 1,000 times with my
Yep,
kids.
thousands. So you
I mean,
do.
it was just like a
I know you
go-to
just flick
game.
it. You just flick. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, I
a.
mean, it was a go-to game
Except then
for.
when you have to clean up the plate, yeah, you have to go run and find all the little brown colored
Yeah, I remember
milk duddy
I
pieces. But
was. God, how much money do you think Yarrington made off that thing? Was that Yarrington or was that
Who?
Seth?
So
No, Seth. How much money do you think Seth Hyatt made off that game? I mean, everybody had the
I mean, it's a
cocoa
$20
nuts.
game, right?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Not to segue, but that's the funny thing. Like I remember I'll talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is my number one selling game," and you're like, "That's really cool." And then like they're like, "Yeah, but it's a $20 game. My margin on this is nothing."
$1. It's more
Yeah.
than. Believe me, I know. Seth probably made more than $1 on those games.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but I
It's
mean, it's
very
just like,
inexpensive to produce overseas in Asia. You know this.
well, yeah, but I mean, what
I
I'm
don't know about
saying
those
is,
plastic toys though. Who knows? Maybe they're expensive.
well, it's like cartographers. Like I mean, I should be speaking out of school on this stuff, but like
Oh,
cartographers is like a game that I mean, that's a Thunderworks. They've sold more cartographers
yeah,
than
it's a
anything
solid
else.
game. It's a good one.
Oh, I love that game. Love it because you can be mean. You can put little jerk things in the middle of what they want to make, and I love doing that. But it's a twenty
You
dollar
could play
game.
the co-op version or the solo game version and just have it auto hit.
You know.
Who cares if he sold a million of them?
Well, I guess, but I mean, I don't think he sold a million, but I think he's sold a hefty number. So,
Yeah. Anyway,
did you see? Did you see? I was gonna
Feast,
wait.
Feast for
Go
Dim
ahead.
Sum. It's like Spin Some for Dim Sum or something. No, it's not that. It's not that game. What is it called? Steam Up, A Feast of Dim Sum. It's super cute and it's moderately fun, but it's totally luck driven. You roll dice and draw a card every turn that like kind of messes everybody up or helps you randomly. So anyway,
So I gotta ask you this question. I gotta
gotta ask
know.
me.
Um,
You gotta know, huh?
well, no, I want to know what you think. So you're familiar with the game Barrage, correct?
Yeah, had not played it though.
And I haven't played it either. Everybody tells us it's super heavy, super
That's
good,
4.11 on BGG.
blah 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 blah. Right?
Heavy.
So they launched a Barrage Legendary box thing. Um, and it sounds like you can do an all in and get everything.
Yeah.
For $300, you can get every single thing.
Isn't that crazy how the price of everything is just
Well, but two things. One thing is they did a funding goal of $11.
what?
Yeah, and they got 161 grand. So I don't know if it's just so they can say funded at 10,000% or something like that or
Maybe.
whatever. But so they did a funding goal of $11, and then the other thing is that you like,
That means they would have printed it anyway, no matter what.
yeah, that's the one thing that I
Like,
was
give
gonna
them,
say.
take
But
$11 out of your pocket and put it in your hand. Anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
my thing about that is that it's like, okay, so I'm gonna get um like all of like it's basically a big box that you can put everything in and whatever, right? So that's cool. But it's why like a game like Barrage, I know I would play if I really loved it, maybe I'd play it once, maybe twice. Do I really need
A year
20
or just ever?
like probably ever? I mean, I know how long games sit on my
Just play it
shelf.
at a convention or something.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not dropping $300 on this. There's no freaking way. But I mean, do you really need 27 expansions or whatever it is or add-ons that they have? I mean, it's just like so if you
We're in
go
a
to like
weird place, dude, with board gaming. The fact that it's 300 all in is just crazy.
yeah,
I
it's
think that's the
279
goal. Every
euros
every
about
game now I feel that comes out is like, oh, at least a hundo, and you could spend 299, no problem. Like with for everything, plus the player mat, deluxe coins,
so this is what you get.
all the expansions.
For 312 or US dollars, so 279 euros, you get access to the pledge manager. Woo!
For 279 euros.
Yeah, you get the legendary box, which is going to be like this basically one store it all ones they
Lies. Store it all boxes are never sufficient. I mean, I bought the too many guilds
lies.
box. It is. They're
Yeah,
always going to make something else. It feels like there's
yeah,
no.
they always will be.
Even the Sentinels of the Multiverse, everything boxes. Well, they started with a new version.
Yeah.
It's not everything. Anyway, whatever.
So
Just
Barrage the base
I
game.
jest with that, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, Barrage the base game.
Okay.
Barrage the Lee Water project, which I assume is like some little expansion or whatever.
Never heard of it.
Barrage the fifth player expansion. Didn't make sense.
Probably unwise to play 5 players in a big, giant, heavy game, but okay.
The Colorado Connection, which I'm guessing is an expansion.
What is
Du-
Barrage about? I don't even know it.
Duel,
I never.
the Nile Affair, and then XOA, XOB, XOC, XOD, XOE. These are all like little mini
Love letters?
expansions. I don't know. The Geological
Is it a
Factor,
train game?
the
What kind of game
Japan
is it?
Company, the Brazil Company, a 3D map, a metal coin set, a wooden wheel set, an extra machineries pack.
A wooden wheel, you say?
A wooden wheel. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
No, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's one of those things where
Yeah.
it's like, I will completely admit, I had a moment where I said, ooh, like I was like, ooh, just like that
I don't
sounds
know.
cool.
Is it on Kickstarter or is it GameFound?
It's on Kickstarter. But Barrage is nations vie for hydroelectric dominance in a
I mean, I still
dystopia
need to
where water
play.
is power.
I still need to play Hegemony. Hegemony.
That I want
I
to.
heard that is fantastic and it's rising up the ranks on BGG, so I believe every bit of it. Because how could 20,000 people be wrong?
Yeah.
Actually, how many ratings does it have? I feel like you
Yeah.
got to have at least 10 to 20 to get it to the top 10.
Simulate a whole contemporary nation in this asymmetric politico-economic Euro game.
Oh, dude, Hegemony is no. It's supposedly amazing, but
We
like I said,
should you should find somebody who knows how to play
yeah, we
and then
do.
and then
I
and then
keep
find
telling
a
him.
copy
So here's
and
the thing:
then
they
and then
come
sit
over,
down
and
and
then I'm
play
like,
that at
I don't feel
BGG
like
Con.
playing. Like I had like the worst headache on the day we were gonna play it. Like 2 times, I was like, we were gonna play Hegemony, and we were gonna play not Barrage. What's the big space game that came out recently? That's just monstrous. Void
Uh,
something. Voidfall.
Voidfall. Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like the day before BGG crashed, and I'm just like, I was sort of basically feeling hungover because I stayed up all night to try to fix it. And then the other one, I just had a headache. And I'm like, I don't think I can play any of these heavy games today. So I punted it.
Yeah.
Hegemony
Hegemony
rated
is
66.
asymmetric political economic card-driven board game for 2 to 4 players puts you in the role of one of the socioeconomic groups in a fictional state: the working class, the middle class, the capital class, and the state itself.
Yeah, like completely asymmetric. multiplayer. It's
I'm
great.
getting it
Sounds great.
just it's like this is getting that vast feel, right? The working class controls the
Yeah.
workers, capitals
And
controls the
I think that was the hard
companies.
part of those games is like, do you want to understand it fully or just learn your faction, you know?
Yeah.
I liked Root though. I just was annoyed at it. Like the little, have you played Root? I know you haven't. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
The little there's a faction in Root that is just one character piece. He's basically a D&D adventurer. That's his whole job, is to go on adventures in like a D&D world. I mean, it's abstracted, but it's like, oh, he's got a sword and a shield and a lantern, and he gets points just by having fun doing adventures. I'm like, wait, we're having like combat and war and stuff over here, and like he's just running around doing. He never attacks anybody, and he just, oh, I found a lantern. Oh, I found a map. Oh, I raided the dungeon, and he wins the game because no one could. I mean, you could attack him, but he's super sly, right? He can get away.
Mm.
Anyway, so Root, after we played 4 times because we wanted to play all 4 factions, or I think we played 3 times in a row. And my God, there is so many crazy things in that game. I mean, it's amazing, but it just frustrated the hell out of me because you're like, oh, well, if you don't understand other people's factions, you just let them do their trick and lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Like, oh, you've got a subtle strategy, and if I don't know how to counter it, you're gonna win. Like,
yeah.
and that's happened. It happened in all 3 games. Each person clued into their. I lost every game. I was the cats. I said I'm gonna stay with the cats until I win. Didn't win. And I'm like, fuck this game. Nah, it's great. Root is good.
No, Root is quite good.
It is good.
I like Oath
But,
more
but it's a
though,
war
because
game.
I'm ridiculous.
I do too. I really love Oath, but I don't think anybody on my group like.
Yeah.
This game's amazing. I want to keep playing it. I want to evolve it. You know, because every time you play, you evolve the game.
Yeah.
You weave a story. I know your Oath or whatever. It's fun. Anyway, Cole Worley, he's a genius.
Yeah.
And then Arcs is also that way. I'm not
I
I'm
my
not going
copy
into
is
the
still sitting. You'd be so
unopened.
disappointed in me. It's I
Did you
bought
buy
it.
the whole thing with a big
I,
box?
I bought the whole thing minus the pin. I was like, I
You're
don't need
never
it.
gonna play that
I don't
expansion.
shut up. I so I went to Gen Con, obviously. And then they were like, and I walked over and they had so many copies because they were actually selling to exhibitors before they opened up. And I said, can I get one? They're like, yeah, sure. And I was just like, what
How
do
much
you
you pay?
want? And I
100?
was just like, and then I asked my kid, I was like, Ron, do you want the pin? She's like, nah, I don't want the pin. And I was like, I don't need the pin. And like it was weird. It was like they had them all,
You're
like
like, what?
they had the
You didn't
complete
buy the pin?
packages like pre-set up in bags that said arcs on the side. And they were like, what do you want? And it was just like, I don't want the pin. And like literally they were hanging the pin, like there was like something
On the
like
edge of the
because
bag.
on the edge of the bag, and they were pulling the pin off and then putting it, and there was just a pile of the pin to the side.
You know what's annoying me now? Because I did it all in. I don't know if I got a pin.
Mm.
Or if I got it, it was in the have you thrown away anything like a
Oh,
Kickstarter?
absolutely, I have.
And you're
And then
like,
I've
I'm
got,
cutting
but
the
and then
boxes up
I
and I'm like, little thing falls. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
like a
I
year
absolutely have.
later, I found this like little oh, I never,
And then like a lot of times it'll be
I
like, well,
wish it was
that
all
like
shrink wrapped together on a piece of cardboard. Have you seen that?
yeah, I have.
It's like a big, and they just shrink wrap it all, and then it's not loose in a box. Yeah,
For World of Midgard, Shane actually made it ingenious decision because there was these promo cards that people either could buy for $5 if they signed up early, they got them.
yeah,
And since we were basically sending 2 games, and people always forget about the cards,
yeah.
so he just had them be put in to the boxes. So we basically made deluxe copies that had the promo cards in them and deluxe copies that didn't for the people that didn't. And almost it was like 80% of them had the promo cards on the inside. And so that way, but then it was like we had to tell people the promo cards are inside the boxes. And like and then we made sure that we actually had them like in a sleeve by themselves so people would see, oh, that's the promo card. Otherwise, there's gonna be people that are like they're gonna get the big deck of cards and they're gonna be like, there's no promo card in here because they don't know what the promo card's supposed to be or anything like that. You just gotta keep dumbing it down, man. You just least common denominator.
Get everything, including a beautifully sculpted miniatures pack. So I'm missing my pin if that was part of this. Oh man. Oh wait. Is there a picture of the pin? Let's see what I'm missing. I mean, here's the thing. I don't really like root arcs. It's a good game. I just don't like combat. I don't like hitting other people's stuff and messing up their game. That's what arcs is all
what's
about.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Something about it. And here's the deal. I love Pax Pamir. Same exact thing. You're trying to mess people up.
Yeah.
But for some reason, arcs just hits me a little differently. Like it's hard. It's kind of hard to get technology and like to guild people. So when someone just takes them from you, like without any, all they did was play a card. Like, oh, okay. And they rolled dice and they basically take half your stuff. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just feels bad.
Did you see Lords of Heaven on GameFound? Like the new
Lords
big
of
game
what?
from
Evan?
Lords of Heaven? The new big thing from
I much
Phalanx.
prefer Lords of Heaven.
No, it's about Jerusalem and
No. Is it just come out?
it's just it's doing crowdfunding and it's like card placement and a bunch of other
That sounds
crazy
good.
stuff. No, I mean
it's on the hotness today, #1 with a bullet.
So it's one of those things where
Crusades. Yeah.
There's
oh my gosh,
it's just and
it's
something that I love. It's like all in pledge.
Hey Matt.
$99.
Hey guys.
Done. You just
all
like
in, done.
Yeah.
No add-ons.
All in, done. Yeah, you just like select that reward and done. You know, it's just like an all in or you can get for $50 you can get just the deluxe edition that's gonna have the expansion and the cool looking wooden meeples. Or if you want everything, which is neoprene mats and the metal coins and everything like that, it's $100. Take your pick. Which one? And that's
50 with a bunch of little add-ons or $100.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
wait, there is an add-on. No, there is an add-on with the 99 all in. There's a $10 add-on. Hold on, let me do it.
The People's Crusade in the Last Battle.
The People's Crusade in the Last Battle. It's not an all-in. It's missing that. What?
Well, now I hate it.
It's not quite an all-in. Oh no, is a meeple for $10 a meeple?
Dear hey, God.
I mean, it's a cool meeple.
A set of exclusive meeples available only on GameFound.
I only saw one meeple, and then a set of exclusive meeple available only on the GameFound. Each of these unique meeples has its own distinct shape, adding more character to your copy of the game and making it truly special. Oh, I backed it.
Did you just back it?
I did.
I
like the idea.
Phalanx games. I want my 10%. Just give me my money.
They're also an advertiser on BGG, so I also clicked through on that. So I got credit. Give them some credit.
Oh, look at you.
Give BGG some credit. Yeah. It went to #1 immediately today.
Burning the candle on both ends.
Oh, Aldi.
Yes.
I thought of another feature we were talking about what we were talking about the other day.
Feature
for the subscription for
the thing.
Yeah. Dark mode.
Yeah. I mean, I want dark mode too. That doesn't necessarily need to be part of the thing we were talking about.
Oh, yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Only for that mode. Okay. You don't want to give it to. I mean, if you install, there's a plugin called Dark Reaper.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, you can. It'll change the color, and it's mostly okay.
Cool.
I just had the designer go through the game pages and re-modify all of the layout of the structure of a page. You know how like the H1, H2, H3, H4 stuff.
Mhm.
It was completely messed up.
Was it?
Yeah, I was like, what? How did this happen? It's been messed up for years. It's never been right, at least since the redesign, which is it's at least 10 years old now. So we spent a couple hours. Lance said I'm not working. I said I spent a couple hours with my designer, and we nailed down all the structure. And then I said, go to it. And he comes back and finished it today. And it's deployed. It helps people with screen readers too.
Yeah.
So
My mom is one of them.
sight impaired people that can tab through and get to each heading. It's perfectly, well, it's not perfect, but it's like, it's much more, like if I show
Accessible?
you a picture, actually, let me show you a picture. He sent me a picture and it's you can see how bad it was before versus
See,
now.
you say the new BGG is 10 years old. That is
Well,
the only BGG for me.
I know you don't know anything about the old days, right?
No, I
Have
only
you looked
started
at
playing
it
board
before?
games.
Have you ever seen it on Wayback Machine?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh, you should go load it up
Yeah,
and see if
okay.
you can find an old like 2003, 2004 era BGG,
Nice.
even 2002, 2003 something. It's awful. Let me find this picture.
I received a bunch of games recently.
Yeah.
Mistwind.
Oh yeah. That came out at Gen Con, right?
Yeah. Just today, I opened the door to leave the office, and outside the door, I don't know why they didn't bring it in, was a box. And I'm like, okay, oh, it's for me. Oh, great. So then I open it up. It was Dungeon Cart. So
Dungeon what?
Dungeon Cart.
Cart.
It's the boss monster Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah. That's a big box too.
It's
It's
yeah,
heavy.
there was two of them in there. It was huge. The box was oh, and I also got today my fucking Stormlight resin
Oh.
statue. Did you
Oh
see this thing?
no.
So I'll see if I can pull up a.
See if you got it.
Oh, it's so
Which one's
nice.
Stormlight? Is that? I don't know what Stormlight
That's
is.
Brandon Sanderson.
Oh yeah. Did you back his latest
Well, we did all
Kickstarter?
the packaging for the
Oh,
all the minis and all the
brother-wise.
statue and
Oh,
everything. It's this thing here.
is it for the books or something, or what? Is it for a game?
Well, it was funny. Like the
Oh, that's pretty
Brotherwise
cool.
folks released this Kickstarter, which did bonkers for just minis, but there's no game to support it. And then what's going on right now is the Kickstarter campaign for the role playing game.
That guy just keeps making $10 million Kickstarter
Yeah,
projects. I'm like, or maybe more than that. Honestly, I'm like, what?
yeah. So this is the
He's
statue.
having a good year.
It's a two-piece statue, so it actually
Okay,
separates right about here. These guys are attached on here magnetically.
really?
So there's a magnet
There's no
behind
posts.
there's a magnet behind his knee and a magnet on the outside of
Interesting.
his
It's not
this knee.
posted in anywhere.
There will
You know what I'm
there
talking about
what?
with the post, like a little peg on the
Yeah, there's a little flat disc and they just kind of touch each other.
Okay, I've seen that actually. My Thanos back there is magnetic on some parts
And
of it.
these cloud thingies are probably 5 pounds each.
Wow. What's this run? That's
It's like
12
this
inch.
big.
12-inch resin.
It's
1/10 scale.
it's so beautiful. It's
Oh,
so beautiful.
that's cool.
Anyways,
Oh, I hate all those ads.
I know.
They're so. Anyway, here I'll show you the structure. I don't know if Lance cares that much, but I don't know why this came up in Photoshop. I think I might have my associations wrong, but I will just share my Photoshop screen.
Holy shit.
Or wait, what is it doing? How do you zoom in? Okay, I got it. Oh,
Command plus or minus. Or control plus or minus, sorry.
Control plus. Okay, there we go. So this is far away. This is what it was. So you see this 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, all these threes,
Yeah.
which are, they're not really the sections. They are sections of the site, but they're not. It's not all. They're not all related to gameplay. Like community, like Geek Market. That's not gameplay.
No.
Videos is not gameplay. Hot review, how to play is not gameplay.
It's just
So
because they got duplicated because they're the same style.
yeah,
Probably.
something got went off, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We've added so many things to the stupid game pages that have, just over time it has just corrupted into
Yeah.
junk.
Yeah.
And it's got like, so all these games are even, they're all level 2. These are like fans also like, and notice it's not subnested under like Acropolis, Ancient Knowledge. These games are not, um it's not in the right section. And then this Veil of Eternity, like I have no idea how this happened. Like it's all a mess.
What's it doing
So
there?
I don't know. I'm like, let's just fix it. Like let's just make it look like what it should be. We spent a couple hours doing it. So now it's like very nice and clean. Game information, number of players, playtime, suggested age, complexity, game credits, description, classification, awards and honors, official links, community stats. Okay, then buy a copy, stores and Geek Market.
Yeah.
Looking for card sleeves. Okay, that's a section on its own. Then videos, review, how to play, latest video,
Yeah. Makes sense.
in-depth reviews, hot reviews, recent reviews. Fans also like, and then that's in its own
Better.
section.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Forums, hot threads, recent threads, files, top files, recent files, community wiki. More of this game. Yeah, all the little extra stuff.
There's a structure to it.
Yeah, it's fully structured. I mean, it's maybe not the best structure, but it's better than what it
No,
was.
but it's
Yeah, before,
shoulders.
after. I know it's like, how did anybody ever use this as an unsighted person, non-sighted? I'm just like, ugh, I feel so terrible for them. Anyway,
Yeah, it's rough.
it's way
man.
better now.
Mom, whenever I'm using mom's computer, it's like because she uses
Screen reader.
yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, it's such a pain in the ass, but and her she has low vision, so it's not like she's completely blind
Right.
where it doesn't
But
really matter what the
it would
resolution
help.
of the
It helps
screen
that
is.
yeah.
So her screen is like 300 pixels by 200 pixels. I'm kidding, but it's
Yeah.
it's pretty darn small.
Yeah, it's way magnified.
Yeah, and
All right,
so
I'm
she has
gonna
like
find-
4 buttons on the screen at one time.
I gotta find an old BGG post. Oh my god, there's 2002. Let me just find one page from there. I mean, we launched in 2000.
Oh, okay.
See if I can find like one page. Here's February 1st, 2001. Let's see. I'm not screen sharing anymore. Hold on. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah.
Ah!
Board Game Geek database. This is the latest news. It's a blog basically.
Are there any animated GIFs on here?
I almost probably. I mean, some of this stuff doesn't. Hey, what are those free counters? Like like a website counter.
Yeah,
It's a GIF of a website counting.
Nice.
Let me see if I can go to games by name. You could browse games by
A little
name.
bit of
Let
marquee
me see if
text
this actually
there.
works. Some of the stuff won't work,
Yeah.
but because it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, so every game in the database you could like fit on one page. 1,282 games in the database.
Versus the 65. What is it?
Let me think of a game that, what is it? Tigris and Euphrates? Euphrat and Tigris. That's what it originally was called. There you go. There's a game page.
Nice.
Designer, writer, Canizia, publisher, year, min players, max players, category. Here's the summary, pictures. Hey, you could even add a user picture back in 2002. 2000. Yeah.
Is there
Session
really?
report.
So
What?
there's 26, almost 27,000 games on BGG right now.
Oh, there's more than 27,000.
What is it? The rank? What's the rank?
We only ranked 27,000. There's well over, I think it's well over 100,000.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that
ranked
doesn't
games,
sound very.
like,
Yeah,
ranked games, it has
that
to be.
didn't feel like very
So
many.
I don't know if you can tell, like, but here's the file section. Two files. Here's reviews. Here's your session reports. Like back in the day, session reports were really big. People wrote them. Like, I mean, you can see how many
Oh
people,
yeah.
and then we harvested them from this website or news group called Diggers or a mailing list. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
ever heard that. With permission, of course. And then some links, no variants, no awards. Hey, there's a comment. This game plays well with 3 players as it does with 4. This game tends to go a bit quicker as well, and you can plan ahead a bit more since the limited number of players tends to
It was
give
by
you.
you.
Yeah, I know. I was probably the first time I ever wrote a comment. This game does tend to break down a bit with the random tile drawing, but a good player can counteract the randoms by up the draw by a clever tile.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it.
The
Yeah.
Internet Wayback Machine.
I mean, there's the old logo, of course. And then our blog. T-shirts available. So the logo was done by my coworker at 3D Realms.
Yeah, it's good.
He's a comic book artist. You know, they hired him for concept art for
Mm-hmm.
Dukem, and he is super talented.
Yeah, that's good.
And I said, I'm looking for a. Well, we had this really other logo of the Ernie character. I don't even know who made that one. Like it long and lost in time who made it. I gave him that logo, which was the guy. He had like the frizzy hair and like a backpack with the khaki shorts and the blue shirt. And then the next day, he gave me that logo. I'm like, wow.
Why
man,
is he
you're
called
so
Ernie?
talented. Just that was the name of the GIF. The GIF was Big Earn. Bigern, and it was poorly transparent. You know, GIFs where you could have transparency, like it had the jaggedy transparent.
Yeah, totally.
Like I wish I'm sure I've got it somewhere, but if I want to dig it up. Let me see if I can find it though. I'm kind of curious now if I've got access to it. Anyway, so Big Earn turned into Ernie Big Earn, and he made me the game, and I gave him a copy of Settlers Catan.
Nice.
I mean, I think I still have the original drawing. He did it by hand. No, not electronic at all.
Cool.
Oh no. Where is it? Man, I kind of really want to find it.
Jason King. Really? Really? I'm on BGG looking at games with at least 1,000 reviews.
God, I found it.
Or at least 1,000 ratings made 2018 or later. Looking at trying to find graphic designers.
Oh, okay. Huh. All right, one more thing to show off, and then we'll. There you go.
Oh,
There's
nice.
That was the original guy.
That's
And
awesome.
I have no idea who drew that. Like, I do not remember.
That needs to be a t-shirt, Aldi.
Yeah, it does.
No.
It totally does.
Why?
No, it doesn't.
And just the caption, how it started.
Oh. I
You
don't
almost
think
want to do it how it started or how and how it's
how it's
going.
going.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And then on the back, how it's going. And then
But
BGG
my
Con.
current logo is not. It's just a abstract shape. I mean, it's not.
I know.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it.
I just designed a t-shirt today for a local con. With Mandy helps out with it. And she actually helps. She organizes a bunch of it. It's like the one of the local. It's called the Canada Con. Canada is the west.
Canada Con.
Canada is a suburb in the west of Ottawa, and that's where she lives. And they have a gamers group there, and we help them with their new branding and everything. And it's gonna be fun. It's in October. It's in October. It's around the corner. So I did a thing the other night. I know a couple of people. I think you saw it all day. I posted a thing about. I kind of vague booked a thing. I didn't go to Gen Con this year. Last year, Daryl Andrews and I threw this event.
Yeah.
The Be Creative Social, and not having done it this year, it was a lot of work and it was a lot of fun. and I was super happy with how successful it was. But
Oh yeah.
it just didn't happen this year, and I've been beating myself up about it because I wanted to do something. So I kind of, that whole shit or get off the pot kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I posted this at like 11:30 the other night.
You did it.
I committed
It's a good
myself.
dump. Okay.
Yeah, I shot. No.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's a good idea.
I did it. I posted that to commit myself to doing it.
Okay.
And
Now you got to say what it is.
it's going to be an online. So let me give a little bit of history. So I during the pandemic, I was renting an office at a local co-working space, and I had started at a desk, and I wanted to move to a desk in the open bullpen kind of thing. And then I was like, that was like, I don't know, $400 a month. And then I wanted to move to an office, which was $600 or $700 a month. And it's like a jail cell sized office kind of thing, like a 8 by 8, I think it was, or 8 by 10 or something like that. But it wasn't quite ready yet because there was somebody still renting that one, and they were going to leave the next month. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to this interim thing, which is this tiny little office. It's probably about um 6 feet wide and about 8 feet long. And
Wow. It's like a
the reason
jet
why I'm
set.
saying this is because that's how I attended this virtual event that I signed up for. With there used to be this magazine. It's still a digital thing called How Magazine,
I've heard of it.
and How is great. It was an amazing design publication, and kind of like it was on par with Communication Arts, as one of the like awesome. I used to buy it every like the annuals because they used to have these amazing portfolio designs in there, and people's like it'd be like the advertising design annual and these like amazing things that these artists and graphic designers would do. Um, and so anyways, I attended this How Design Creative Leadership Conference, and it was just a whole bunch of speakers. It started with the CDO, the Chief Design Officer from Pepsi America,
Cool.
and then it finished with the CDO from Coke, which was kind of funny,
Wow.
and a whole bunch of people in between, and really, really great. But the
Who,
cool thing about it
who
though,
did it? How did it?
uh, there's the guy that organized it is this guy named Stephen Gates, no relation to Bill Gates.
No.
But he's this
I know many people named Gates that, yeah.
he has this podcast called The Crazy One. I might have talked about it before.
Maybe.
It's really good. He's a design thinker and design leadership guy, and he's like done work with the W Hotels and a bunch of other large kind of corporations and stuff. So he organized it, and it was really great. But the really cool thing about it though was there's 2 days. At the end of each day, from 4 to 5 p.m., uh, everybody just piled into Zoom, turned their cameras on, and they're like, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll have a town hall where you can just talk and chat and whatever. I mean, of course it's Zoom, so you can't really have breakout conversations, but it was really neat. So in thinking about what I could do
They
for
added that, by the way,
what's that?
breakout rooms.
Did they? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we did it in I can't remember, virtual con.
So I'm probably going to talk to you about this
Yeah.
actually on how to throw this thing. So, anyways, I kind of wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
So
What's it
we're
called?
gonna do a bunch of different sessions. Maybe it might be one day, maybe two. I don't know. We'll see. But it's gonna have a bunch of different sessions. The ones off the top of my head. So people are kind of like, I'm kind of spilling the beans a little bit here, but topics I want to cover are like, just the usual graphic design stuff like branding, UX, UI. I was even talking about maybe doing like an entrepreneurship, how to run your business kind of stuff, as a freelancer, or an agency owner or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to do it not conflicting with a game con,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
because then you can get more
Absolutely.
serious people attending it. Instead of just
Absolutely.
like, I'm going to a,
Yeah, I'm
Just
not sure when I
random
want to do
talk
it
at
yet,
a game con and then like play. Obviously, games take away
Yeah.
from that.
yeah. So
Although Gamma sort of is that way, I guess. Yeah, it's cool, man.
so anyways,
What's it called? What was it? Is it? What's the name of it?
I don't know yet. Well,
Oh,
it's,
you don't know.
actually no, it's like the I think I called it the Be Creative Virtual
You might
Be
as well just
Creative
go with.
Summit.
You might as well just go with that.
The Be Creative Summit.
Unless you can come. I mean, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I here's the thing. I would even attend that
Yeah.
like, as a non-creative person. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word. As a non-creator.
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
sure.
I feel like I am creative in some way, but not
Yeah.
creative.
And that's somebody asked me on Facebook the other day, like, who's this for? Is this for new people? Is this for experienced people? I'm like, it's for anyone. It's for everyone. So,
There you go. Yeah, that's
anyways,
exciting.
it's something I'm passionate about right now, and
Go with it, man.
it'll be
I
fun.
wouldn't make it too well. Who knows? I wouldn't make it too long.
No.
Maybe start with a day.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, right?
And if you start getting like so many speakers and attendees that you're like, oh, well, maybe we should do 2 days.
who's that guy?
You know?
Anthony? Yeah, exactly.
So I've been to a PHP conference in real life, but I would go to online ones too if I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't looked at them.
Yeah.
But it's a great, even though I was like thinking I wouldn't learn anything, I did learn stuff.
Oh yeah. I did
It was amazing.
I recently did a creativepro.com has these events, and I did a long documents summit because we were starting to work on the Daggerheart core rulebook, the 300-page friggin' book. So I'm like, I think this qualifies. So let me see if I can see some good seminars about that.
Awesome, man. That's exciting.
Yeah. Hey
That
fellas,
guy is here.
Hello.
And
that
Forrest.
guy. Just because you bad guy doesn't mean you bad guy. Sorry.
That guy. Forrest.
You like my comment today, Lance?
It was very clever.
What was the comment?
I was hoisted upon my own petard on that one.
I posted something the other day and Lance commented on it. So he posted a very similar thing today. So I just copied his comment and pasted it in.
Yes.
Repetition is the first rule in comedy, right?
Yeah.
It
You need
was
to say it
very-
again,
was very
again,
clever.
Scott.
Repetition is the first rule of comedy.
Exactly. Oh, did you guys watch Grant's Silly Mustache Man?
Not yet.
Oh, it's good.
I saw the first clip they had released,
It's
Oh,
good.
so it's
on
finally
YouTube.
released, huh?
but I haven't watched the whole thing.
Oh, the special's out?
Yeah, we watched it. We subscribed to Dry Bar the other day
So
and
what's the
watched
deal?
it.
You have to subscribe to it.
It's like a subscription service. It's like a channel on Roku and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not pay. Just subscribe to it. Or
yeah,
for pay?
yeah.
You just is it
It-
free?
It's a pay thing, but he put a code on his post so you
Oh,
can
did he?
actually,
I didn't even see that.
you can actually get the free trial to watch it.
I see. Does the free
Oh.
trial turn into a pay?
I'm
trial?
happy if
You know
any
those-
of the money goes to Grant. I'm happy to pay for it.
They all do. They all do.
Well, it always like takes the credit card and turns it into a real charge. And then, by the way, did I tell? I do have a grievance, by the way. When we're in grievances, but I don't want to talk. My mouth, my throat is dry. I need a drink, so I'll be right back.
All right.
These pretzels are making them thirsty.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Does everyone hear my air conditioning thing over here?
No.
Okay.
We just thought you were breathing heavy.
No, it's like making this weird noise.
Oh yeah, I can hear it now.
Only when you talk.
Only when you talk. Yeah. So shut up. Shut up.
Man, I played Spectre Ops tonight. God, I forgot how good that game is. We played it last week, 2 players, and then we played it tonight, 5 players, and just so good. Hidden movement done so well. It surprises me that is not like there's not a deluxe version yet with both the with the expansion in there.
Is that a board game?
Oh, it's a really good hidden movement game that was from Plat Hat Games back in the day. Emerson Matsuki did Century Spice Road and a bunch of other stuff.
I am working with Emerson on a game right now.
Oh, it's probably fantastic then. He's one of my favorite game designers.
It's an IP based game.
Oh, yeah, I know he did he did another one too. He did the Chuck. He did a game for that Halloween company that
Trick or Treat.
Andy works for. Yeah.
They're doing really well. They're doing some really fucking awesome stuff, I gotta say.
Yeah. It looks like they get it. Like their horror
Yeah.
games don't look like the crap horror games that you see sometimes where it's like roll and move and like they look
Trick or
like real
Treat,
games.
I mean, I think I've only played one of them, but I've admired from afar a bunch of other ones that they've done, and their package looks really good. The presentation's fantastic. Yeah, they're really stepping up, which is great.
Cool company names too.
Right?
What, Trick or Treat?
Yeah.
You know, it's because they're like Trick or Treat Studios is like a giant, like big giant company that like sells Halloween stuff and like
Yeah.
costumes and things like that, and theirs is just this little tiny section. Or whatever.
Their
I'm not
slither of
taking
it.
anything away from it, you know, but it wasn't like, you know, I mean, it was they wanted. I talked to Andy a lot about it. They had wanted to do a like a game studio type of thing, and Andy kind of was in the right place, right time, and
Andy who?
Andy
Van
Van
Zant.
Zant.
Oh, is he there?
He runs the show. Well,
Oh,
that
that's
and
great.
why can't I think of her name right now?
I like Andy a lot.
He ain't bad.
Andy and I worked on a game together at TMG.
Which one?
Fuck, I don't know.
It
One
was
of the
really
two.
memorable.
It was either Embark
Jab.
or Chrono Corsairs. Chrono Corsairs, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds right. That time period sounds right.
Time
Oh,
Pirates.
Chrono Corsairs. Man, they baked that game like 75% of the way and then tried to sell it. Ugh. They just yeah.
It was
I'm-
fun. Yeah,
I am not. No, that's just.
It was a fun experience working on it.
Yes. Yes.
Got to
I've never played it.
accentuate the positive.
I've never played it.
So Anthony, I heard you had a grievance.
I do. My grievance right now is my air conditioner. I'm gonna go upstairs to the office. So give me 5 minutes to switch computers.
All
I
right.
also heard that Scott had a grievance too, not that it matters.
Are you all hydrated now, Scott? You can regale us.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well,
Lay it
are we
on.
waiting for him to come back or no?
Up to you.
So, do you guys have like local papers that you
Sure.
like to read about local news and things like that?
I think we got one left.
So we have the Dallas Morning News, which is actually a pretty decent paper. However, it's online. Is every time I click on an article online, Dallas Morning News, it's like subscribe for only $2.99. Like, oh, that's pretty inexpensive. If it's like $2.99 a month and you have to pay a year, what is that? $36. So it's not bad, right?
No.
No?
Totally reasonable. So I signed up. This was like 2-3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And I would only read like one article a month, maybe. You know, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. I want to read about Dallas Cowboys thing. Click on. Michelle, going through my credit card, I'm like, $36 for the Dallas Morning News. Oh, they must have renewed me, right, for another year. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can handle $36 a month. Or I think it was $39. $39.99. That's what it was. $39.99.
A year.
That's what I was thinking, a year. And then the next month comes and I'm like, oh, another
$39 a
$39.99.
month. Oh god.
$39.99 a month. I'm like, fuck no. That's not worth it.
No.
To
And I
get
had
it
not been
delivered to your
noticing it.
house, it wouldn't even be that.
That's
I had
so
not-
expensive.
I hadn't not been noticing it because I think it was under some other name. And I'm like, oh, that's the Dallas, like, because $39.99 is like kind of like it's a lot, but not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's whatever. Credit card statements. I look it over, it looks mostly right. I'm like, okay, whatever. $39.99 a month. I'm like, I click on one article a month. I'm not paying $39.99 for it. I would have paid $2.99 for it. So I go to cancel it online. DallasMorningNews.com. Cancel. There's no button to cancel it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, of course there's none.
well, so I start looking around on the website, like, can't find anything. I start Googling how to cancel my Dallas Morning News account. Takes me to a page. You have to call. I'm like,
Oh, fun.
get the fuck out of here. I feel like that's illegal. I don't know. Anyway, I signed up online. I should be able to cancel online, right? Nope. Got a call. So I spend an hour to try to cancel this thing. And I'm on hold. I'm like, of course. It's just like they're trying to get me to be annoyed, right? And stop and bother. And like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I wait the hour or whatever it was. And I say, I would like to cancel my Dallas Morning News account. She's like, oh, sorry to hear that. We would like to offer you a discount to keep it. I'm like, oh, well, how much is the discount? $29.99 a month. I'm like, wait, I think I'm paying $29 or whatever it was. The number was like very close to the number I was paying, $34.99 a month. I'm like, that doesn't save me any money, really. I mean, it saves me maybe $1 or $2. Okay, hold on a second. We can offer you $23.99 a month. And it was like basically a random number. And I'm like, no, I think I just want to cancel it. He goes, hold on a second. It's giving me another offer. Like, it's giving me another offer. So she's basically typing into a computer. No, like she's pushing the no button.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it came down to $12.99 a month, which I think is still kind of crazy for one article I read. Like, I'm like, man, I was really considering. I'm like, no, I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm like, I appreciate the offers, but I just gotta cancel.
Did you not bring up the whole fact that they catfished you?
No, they don't. I don't think that person.
It was
right.
that guy's fault. Yeah.
This was a person who
No,
was
but
managing
maybe
a
they
line.
don't know.
Oh no,
Did they want to know? Like, oh, cool, my company's.
But I was just feeling like I do want to support this newspaper,
Sure,
but not at those prices.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A newspaper in Dallas, I think it's 50 cents a day.
That's $400+ a year.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, I don't like. If it was like Netflix, I don't know. Like, I guess it did get down to the Netflix range, but at that point, I was just so annoyed that I'm just like, no, cancel it. Like, and who knows if that was like a limited time offer or something, like it might have come back up to $39.99 or whatever it was. I'm like, because of the shenanigans that I never saw any print that said, and I'm sure it was there because I'm very quick on the internet, like just push the button and get my credit card, So I'm sure it said introductory price for the first 6 months or a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably not that long, but something like that. Anyway, I was just so annoyed. And it took me a lot of time. I mean, like I literally wasted an hour of my time to get this thing canceled. I'm like, I could have done this online in 1 minute or less.
That's why they don't want you doing it.
And they're like, oh, you can't. I'm like, I go modify my account. Like I also spent time trying to figure out how to cancel it. In addition from staying on hold for like an hour. Super annoying. It's shitty. Feels like anti-consumer.
You would think that
Is that kosher in Canada? They wouldn't be able to do that, would they?
What?
I feel it's a deceptive practice.
Oh, they do that here all the time.
Canada.
Can you cancel your Netflix account online? I think you can.
Can I?
I'm just saying, can it be done?
I'm sure you can. I put my mom's on hold the other day because, I have a grievance. Speaking of Netflix, they have this Samsung Smart TV, and it's getting stupider because
mine is too.
It no longer has Netflix available on it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Like, the app is not available on it.
They go through all that rigmarole all the time.
Apple TV, one of my apps that I used went out, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I spent hours and hours and multiple days until I found a bunch of other people bitching about it on Reddit too."
They pull the trigger on those things, and you don't get noticed. You don't get notified or anything.
So I'm now shopping. I had to go buy. Actually, I should probably do it today. I had to buy my parents a new TV and because of my
That's-
mom's vision
voice.
issues and because my dad's dementia issues, it needs to be fucking dead simple. So
Yeah.
I'm buying a Philips Roku TV.
The good thing is TVs are cheap now.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
I mean, they're like, I feel like there was like a great
It's like $300.
Amazon week.
Dude, you can
deal.
get like an 80+
I know.
incher in
You can get like a
Walmart
70
for like
inches for like
$1,000 now.
under $1,000. I think the prices were way down.
Yeah.
They're
Like-
turning into commodities
But
almost.
that's I mean, like, why would you deprecate that? Maybe they lost the rights or something.
They probably did. They probably got lost the rights.
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay Netflix anymore, and they probably just said, "No, too bad. I don't want to pay anymore." So
That's bullshit.
it is bullshit. Apple
mean,
did the
the
same
thing-
thing
Fair enough that you can't do, but like
with
literally,
YouTube. I think.
they would have had to add a device to do it, like a little Roku or something like
Yeah,
that,
you'd have to.
or an
Fire
Apple
TV or
TV
something.
or some bull
Although
crap.
Fire TV had its problems, I don't know if they had all the services. Yeah, bullshit.
Yep.
Lance, you got
So
any-
we were at. I met with Mandy last night for this board game thing, and then we ended early, so my buddies were out for wings. So I went and met them at this brew pub, and I had an order of wings and a couple of drinks. And our waitress was to me, very clearly in her last trimester. And she came to give us our bills, and I said to her, I said, I was doing a Peloton class the other day, and I got humbled by the teacher who was like 11 and a half months pregnant.
11 and a half months pregnant.
11.
I'm just like very pregnant, right? And
Okay, well, you do realize that the gestation
The
period is 9 months, correct?
She's probably pretty worried.
I was
I mean,
trying
11 and a half months, I'd be worried.
I was trying to be anyways.
Funny.
So anyways, I kind of made this thing. I said, yeah. I said, and she kicked everybody's ass because she was she was running out of the saddle and really doing all of this physical, and it was a really hard class. And we had this little interchange. She's like, oh yeah, none of that for me. I'm done pretty soon. I'm just taking it easy. And then she left. And then my buddy says to me, he's like, I can't believe you did that. I never, ever, even if I think it's 100% sure, I'd never say anything like that.
Yeah. Pregnant? Yeah, I don't touch it. Now with a 10-foot pole, so many fat chicks. And you don't want to. It's a very sensitive topic, man.
But I mean, it was, anyways, lesson learned, I guess.
Yeah, you don't ever, no, you just,
It's just if you're wrong,
you don't
it's
make, you know,
such a
because
bad-
if
I
you're
mean-
wrong, you're the worst human being.
I
that
guess
ever
I'm
lived.
lucky that I was right.
You're,
in this
you're,
case.
you're
Yeah.
pretty lucky.
I rolled the dice and I came out victorious.
Alright.
I think I have hit that. I've tread that water and
Oh, I
yeah.
absolutely did it once, and then I covered it. I covered it quick,
Yeah.
like I was just like, and I was like, ooh, dodge that one, that kind of thing. So,
I also hear cues of it and I don't engage it anymore.
yeah,
Like, oh, shake my head, like thinking I not understand, but I'm not like, didn't know you were pregnant. That kind of, that was one of the things I had with someone who I talked to recently. Like, oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
you were pregnant. In my mind, it was like, I didn't know you were pregnant. So I didn't engage it. Anyway, whatever.
I'm excited,
It's
Anthony. I want to hear Anthony's grievance. I want to hear Anthony's grievance.
So my
Fine.
grievance.
The Miami
so-
Dolphins are
No, that's my yearly ulcer. But so I finally, my wife went somewhere with her daughter, or her daughters, both of them, and I was like, "Do you mind if I go see Deadpool and Wolverine without you?" She's like, "Well, as long as you'll watch it again when it's streaming." I said, "That's fine,"
why not?
because I knew she was not going to enjoy it as much. So I
So
go to
it's
the
off
movies.
limits permanently after that. Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay. Well, whatever.
She's very squeamish when it comes to like
Okay.
gore and stuff.
Sure.
Oh
It's pretty
yeah.
gory.
So that the opening sequence, she probably would have had her head like in
Oh
my
yeah, it's awful.
shoulder the entire time. So anyway, so I go and I get a ticket online. I go to the 6 o'clock show because I was like, all right, I'll go early. So I go to the 6 o'clock show. I get a ticket online. I walk into the place. It's a couple towns over. It's a rundown, crappy theater, but yeah, it's close. So I go in, and I usually when I go, I like sitting in the back row. I mean, it's only like 8 rows the entire theater. I like sitting in the back row. So go in, get my seat. Now, when I bought my ticket, there were 4 tickets sold. So I bought my
I think I
ticket.
know where this is going.
So I'm number 5. So I get there. I get there like 15 minutes early. I walk in, and the 3 people who work in there are all sitting huddled at the front ticket area. And she's like, "Oh, I can help you over here at the concession stand," because I guess the scanner things for the code wasn't working in the regular thing. So fine. So she comes around, scans me. She's like, you need anything else? I'm like, no, I'm good. So I go in, I sit down. Like 5 minutes before the movie starts, another couple walks in. I'm like, okay. And then like 2 minutes after that, this guy walks in with his like 10-year-old son. And they sit like in the row right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. So the movie starts. The movie starts about 5 minutes in. So 10 minutes in, the guy is shaking his head like, oh my God, what did I do? Whatever. So we're watching the movie. Everything's going fine. 45 minutes into the movie, the back door of the theater opens and 12 kids come walking in. I'm like, okay, they're sneaking in to the movie, but they're sneaking in 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And they won't stop talking to each other.
Yeah.
One kid walked in, I swear to God, walked in and took his shirt off. And then every other word out of his mouth was the N-word.
Fuck off.
So
I liked him at first.
they go and they sit down. And at first, like 3 of them came in at first. And I was like, okay, the kid snuck in. You know what? When I was their age, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have waited 45 minutes, but
yeah.
But they come in and they won't stop talking. They're all talking to each other, like they're in someone's living room. So I'm sitting there, and no one else is saying a word. No, there's not a single shh or quiet or anything. And they just keep going. So finally, after about 6 or 7 minutes of this, I just got up and I walked outside. And the 3 people working there are still huddled at this desk looking at their phones. And there's like 4 other kids in the lobby who are obviously with these other kids. And I walk out and I said, just so you know, 12 kids snuck into the movie and they won't shut up. You can either come remove them or I'm going to remove them. And the girl's like, oh, theater 3? Like theater 5. So I go back in, I sit down. I missed like a couple minutes of the movie, whatever. I sit down.
You didn't miss anything.
10 minutes later, she gets her ass up and walks into the theater. And I hear the door open because I'm in the back. And I see the light from the lobby. She comes in and she stands there like this. Now, they happen to be quiet for these 30 seconds. She decided to show her face.
But they're
And then
underage.
And then walked back out. So first of all, you have kids in there who are underage for a rated R movie. But as soon as the girl left, like literally 5 minutes later, they all got up and walked out again. And then 15 minutes after that, they all walked back in again talking. And I'm like, you don't see these kids in the lobby? No, because you're sitting there like a bunch of... So I'm like, I was like, I'm not getting up again. And I really was like talking myself out of walking over and literally grabbing the kid without the shirt and pulling him over the seat and dragging him into the lobby myself. Then another 20 minutes goes by and they get up and they walk out again. I'm like, what is going on here?
I think you made the right call there, Anthony, because I will say commenting on pregnant women and grabbing other people's children, two big no-nos generally in society. So good call.
I
Not
did
ripping
warn
them
her,
over the
though.
seat.
I did warn them that if they didn't do something, I was going to remove them myself. But I'm like, I wanted to pull the kid out and have their parents show up. Like, I really just wanted to and say, teach your kids some fucking manners.
Yeah, what's
Like,
the
have
point
a
of
freaking
sneaking
act
into a
in public.
movie if you're gonna fucking interrupt it? Like what? Like, come on. Like I used to go movie hopping all the time. It wasn't so that I couldn't watch the movies. Like, what the hell's the point of going?
When the first three kids walked in and were hopping the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I would have done the same thing when I was a kid. I would have done it like 5 minutes after the movie started, not 45 minutes into it.
Yeah, but you're quiet as a church mouse because you don't want to get kicked out.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
But the fact that and I'm like, here's the part that makes no sense. Okay, so let's say the stupid girl who worked there couldn't see them, even though they were sitting right in the back row and in the first row in front of that. You know how many tickets you sold for the damn movie. There are 12 additional people in. It's not like there was literally 9 tickets sold for the movie.
So people are conflict averse normally. And they aren't being paid enough money to go in there and scream at kids. They
Oh,
don't care.
dude, there's nothing I loved more. I worked in a movie theater for probably 15 years. There's nothing I loved more than catching people doing shit and kicking them out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but that's the whole thing, though. Now that was how many years ago?
Yeah, I think
Now
times have changed.
Now it's a situation where it's just like, why did you pick on my kids?
But
Why?
Lance-
Because they're because of this, because of that. It's like you'll be hearing from our lawyers. They've been probably
fact that they
told just
walked
don't
in
do
and out
anything
3
about it.
times, and we're not seeing any of those times. And the theater 5 is right in front of the concession stand.
Maybe
no,
they're very
I'm not,
sneaky.
I agree that the situation was probably extremely annoying and frustrating,
Yeah.
but asking the people in the movie theater to do anything about it,
I like that. Asking the people that work there to do anything
Do
about
their
it. What
job.
were
they're
you
not
thinking?
doing anything. It's like no, they're paid to give you a bucket of popcorn for $20. That's what they're paid to
Yeah.
You got to find the Matt one, the one that
we have
actually
this-
gives a shit. You see them every once in a while at the movie theater. The ones that really, really give a shit,
do. Yeah.
they stand out.
Like I said, if they had walked in and just been quiet, I would have been like, hey, whatever, not my problem. But the fact that I paid to see this movie, shut the fuck up. And what bothered me more is that nobody else in the theater said anything.
They don't want to get shot.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, do you have open carry
unbelievable.
in your where are you?
What?
Where do you live? I mean, I don't say shit in Texas, dude.
Yeah. I don't either in
Oh,
Indiana.
I say shit all the time.
Well, I do it to teenagers.
I've seen the guns and the like. I'm not talking to anybody.
So that was my grievance.
Well, I'm not going to try to top it because I think you were probably more frustrated than I was. But I'll share my grievance. So, and again,
I have another grievance now after.
oh no, you go, Scott. Because I want
me to
Matt
go
hear-
again?
Yeah, you can go again.
Oh no, I gotta hold back.
All right.
It's related to Anthony's though.
Oh, then
So,
if it ties in,
It won't last that long. So we have this really nice AMC, right? In the Dolby Theater where I saw the $30 ticket or $20, $25 ticket for Wolverine, whatever. Deadpool, Wolverine. And you have to click the button to reserve the seats. So I try to pick a seat that's sort of like kind of in the middle, but not directly in the middle, because it's like that's like the optimal viewing angle because I don't want to sit next to anybody. And
Yeah.
when I picked it, there was absolutely nobody around it, right? And because it's reserved. 10 minutes into the movie, people come in. I mean, I guess it was like, because the previews are like 30 minutes long. 5 minutes before the movie, two people sit down on each side of me. I'm like, wait a minute, the theater is completely empty, except for the seats next to me. And you sit down, like I have to sit with a person on my left and a person on my right. Well, Michelle was on my left, but I had someone on my right. She had someone on her left. I'm like, what the fuck? You know that we had those seats. Like, why do you come sit right next to us? Give us at least a seat here. Like,
give him the buffer.
give him a buffer.
Yeah.
Give me a buffer. Like, it wasn't that full of a theater movie.
So Scott,
So annoying.
back in the day before you like picked the seat when you got
Yeah.
you bought a ticket at the thing,
Yeah.
I used to go to movies a lot in the afternoon because the kids had things going on and I was working at night. So I go to the movie, I could go to the matinee, and I'd go and I'd get a ticket, one ticket, and I'd walk in, and if it was like one other person in the theater, I would go sit
You
next
did
to them and just go, "Sorry, I'm late."
Well, here's the thing. Like, if they had shown up a little earlier, I could readjust, right? I could go to a different row. But when someone just comes in right as the movie's starting and sits down, I'm like, well, now I can't just get up and go. I can't just move. I mean, I guess I could have, but like, then you're, I don't know. It was
It's
just,
weird.
it's just one of those
It's
frustrating
totally
things. I'm
weird
like,
to do, though. I get it.
like-
You're like,
I gotta go. I gotta step over you now to get out of the like, and I have to have a conversation with Michelle because it's fucking loud. It's Dolby, right? Like, which is like you're screaming just like because it's the. Oh man, that's
I would do it one because it was funny, and two single people, single viewers in the movie theater is just hysterical. So we might as well sit together.
I feel like.
So remember
I
when
feel
they?
like that's happened before to me too.
I just think
sat right next to me.
I
in
distinctly
an empty
remember
theater.
when they went to the assigned seatings. Like you actually got a seat instead of.
It was
instead of
good, right? Like, because then you would.
Oh no!
Because then, I mean, if you're in like a busy show, like this is what, a week later after the opening night. Yeah, it was a week later. The theater, when I bought the tickets, there was nobody. There was like one other couple in there, and but back in the day, you would have two people, empty seat, two people, empty. You know, you'd have these singles, and if you come with two people, like you can't find an empty, two empty seats together. You're sitting in the front row then.
Yeah, so what I used
Kind
to
of
have
glad
to
that
do,
there's a sign because they also do stop you from buffering. I think when it's full.
we so on really busy nights, like we used to have like I think we had Pretty Woman at our theater. And what we had to do was 10 minutes before the movie started, you go in and you make doubles. So you call out to people, excuse me,
Oh,
would you
you
mind
sit-
moving
you
one
move
seat
over,
one
yeah.
way or the other?
Yeah.
To make doubles.
Right.
I
think I've seen it
hated
before.
that because
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
sucks. Yeah, because you got to make someone.
yeah, nobody
I
wants
mean,
to
we're
move.
introverts, man. I don't want to sit next to somebody.
nobody grumbled really, mostly, but it was just
Well, at least you did it, but like when you're going to the theater and you can't find a double anywhere, I feel like I have sat separately from Michelle when I went to a movie one time. Just
No,
because I didn't want to try to
I've
figure
done
out how
that
to make.
before where we had to.
I absolutely remember though. Like there were a couple times when like they first got the assigned seatings, and like I'd pick my spots, and I'd be on a date with Rebecca, and we'd walk in, and there'd be somebody sitting in one of the two spots, and I'd be like, "You're in a chair," and the guy's like, "No, I'm not." And like this guy literally looked at me dead in the eye. "No, I'm not." And I was like, "This is row F. That's seat 14." And I would hold up the thing, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know." I was like, "Well, now you do." So he's like, "Well, what's the big deal?" He's like, "Well, I paid for the seat." And Rebecca's like, "Just don't bother." I was like, "Yo, wait, what? Let's see your ticket." "I don't know where my ticket is." I was like, "Damn it!" I was just like, "Move."
It creates a new modern problem,
And then
right?
that
People sitting in your assigned seat. Like, God, I hope no one's sitting in my assigned seat because then I have to have another confrontation.
that happened to me 2 weeks ago.
Anthony's like, please, someone sit in my seat. So I can
Yeah.
yell at him.
Well, that happened to me 2 weeks ago when I went to go see Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. And there was like nobody in the theater.
yeah.
Except this big group of kids took up almost the whole row. And I get there, I'm like, of course. And it was them and maybe another couple or something like that. And of course, it was the row that we bought our tickets. And
Right.
I felt like a jackass saying,
Oh, they were
um,
sitting in your seats.
"You're in my seat." I think you're in my seat.
I guess
Like, and
I don't mind moving
almost,
one row back for an empty theater, right? But if you're in a crowded theater, you definitely gotta
well,
force your
we were
will.
there about 15 minutes before the movie. I didn't know who else was going to be there. I didn't want to have to go, "Oh, am I in your seat now because I chose to sit in somebody else's seat?"
No.
You know?
So one more little tidbit, and I'll stop. So we went to go see Avengers Endgame, right? Pre-COVID, last movie we saw. And I'm like, we should just go see it because otherwise I'm gonna get spoiled and like I don't want to, I don't want to try to avoid spoilers for like a month or whatever months until it gets out streaming. So we just went and we go into this jam-packed theater and I'm like, God damn it. This was no assigned seating. So I'm like, oh wow, there's all these seats in the front row that are like they're sort of like really pretty good. Let's just sit here. We sit there. So we watch a movie, let's get through it. I'm like, wow, how did nobody sit in these seats? Well, they were the ones for the handicapped reserved seats. I'm like, oh shit. But we didn't know it.
Well,
Anyway, and no one asked us to move them.
the four
So, I mean-
people who bought the tickets in the theater bought the 4 tickets in the middle with the handicap and the accompanying person seats on either side of them.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, that's my last. Oh, also, one thing about staff. One more,
No, you're
just one
fine.
more thing.
Show
This
support,
theater is
man.
like it's in a pretty. The mall is the North Park Mall. It's pretty fancy. It's like a boutique. It's not boutique, but it's like the biggest mall in Dallas, right? It's massive. It's huge. It's super high end. That theater, completely fucking filthy. Everything. Not a single person working to clean it. I'm like, does nobody work anymore? Like, I guess that's sort of not part of the job. Like, sweep up a little bit. Like the bathrooms are complete. Every bathroom was completely wrecked. It was awful. I was like, man, this is like a nice theater too. Like AMC, it was really nice, nice quality theater, not like some shithole theater. So I didn't see a single person ever work anything besides the concession stand. Anyway, that's it.
There's something about seeing a movie
Theaters.
with a full audience. And I think the last time I saw a movie that really amplified or made the experience better because it was sold out was the sneak preview for 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Wow.
And I don't usually like laugh out loud at movies, but when everybody else around you is,
Yeah.
it's so much
That's
better.
just- Endgame was amazing in a full theater, man. I was like,
Yeah.
so great.
I watched
Yeah.
a video about the reactions during Deadpool of all the reveals,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. It was so cool. It was like it put a smile on my face to see it.
I haven't seen it yet, so we're not
No,
spoiling.
just
Yeah,
like I'm
well,
just like
okay.
like basically it was just like
Well,
it was a camera filming the audience of like all like like clapping when something happens, right? It was just so cool to see that.
there were some good reveals in that movie, though.
Yeah.
The first major reveal is quite good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
So here's my grievance.
All right. Hit us, Lance.
Yes. So no,
Bring
you're
us
fine.
home.
You're fine. Yeah. So I'll bring us home, and then we can do some initials. So to bring us home. So
Bring it on home, Lance.
We are we're putting up so my wife and I, we were at the local, if you have a restore in your area, it might just be a local thing.
What's
but
that?
yeah, we
It's
have
like-
restores here.
Yeah, so restores are Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah,
People donate
I know
stuff
what
to
it
them,
is.
and then they
They're
sell stuff.
awesome.
Anyway, so we went to a restore and we found all this slot board, which is basically plywood that has the slots, and you buy the metal things to put into them, and then you can use them to hang up tools and all kinds of things. But anyway, there was like 6 giant sheets of slot board, and
Like you used to see a Blockbuster video.
yeah, exactly. There were like 6 full
Oh,
8x4
yeah.
sheets of slot board, and then another 6 or 8 smaller pieces that had been obviously cut down. And I was like, and they didn't have any prices on them. And I was like, well, what do you want for these? And the guy's like, I don't know, $100. And I was like, done. Because the stuff's like normally like $60 for a 8x4. And I was getting a ton of it. So cool, whatever. Dragged it home. And the whole point is because we're going to insulate our garage. We've never insulated it, So my wife's like, "Well, let's go pick up insulation at Home Depot." And I was like, "All right." And then she had just gotten done working, and she's like, "You just want to meet me there, and you can bring your pickup." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I'll just whatever, and then we'll load it up. So we get to Home Depot, and in full I made the first mistake. I'm just gonna start off by saying that. So like ultimately this is
Your
all
fault.
my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault to start.
Self-inflicted wound.
Yes. But the process was so it was like, okay, so they sell the classic pink insulation, like they sell it in these, like you can either get a roll or you get a big tube. And we needed 4 of the big tubes. We measured it out, and we take 4 tubes to insulate, to put all the insulation up in our. I've done insulation inside the house before. I mean, it's not a tough job by any means. It's just you get all scratchy and it's not fun. But so I was like, well, whatever, And plus, we got to move a bunch of shit around the garage to get it done. So I was like, we need 4 tubes. So I and they're not heavy by any means, but they're just giant. And so I got this cart, and I got the 4 tubes, and I head to the thing, and then there's this and then we needed like a stapler and stuff, some other things, and I was kind of chatting up this guy that was like, he was like, oh hey, is that right, ordered ready to go? Like he thought that I had like pre-ordered it, and and I was ready to leave with it, and I was like, no, I'm waiting. We're gonna buy it. He's like, oh, did you want to check out right now? And I was like, no, I'm waiting to get a few more other things. And he was just kind of, we were just talking really. So we get done, and I put all the other stuff we're buying, like staples and a stapler and everything. And then he was just like, well, he comes around and he just grabs one of the rolls and goes, 4 of them, right? And I was like, yeah. And so he's like, he hits like probably the 4 button, boop, and just totals it up. And it's like, okay, that'll be, 300 and some bucks or whatever it was. And I was like, cool. And then I like start pushing the thing out. And my wife's got like all the other stuff. And I've got these 4 giant rolls or tubes or whatever of insulation. And I get out there, and my wife sees as I'm loading up, like I was like loading it up in the back of my pickup. And like 3 of them could fit in the back of the pickup, and then the other one had to go in the back seat. And my wife notices, she's like, that one's the wrong size. And I was like, what? And I looked at it, and sure enough, it's like they come in different widths. And we grabbed one that was like, because normally like 12-inch is like or 15 or 12 or whatever, depending upon how far apart your studs are. I'm boring you if you don't do construction or know what I'm talking about. But regardless, I was like, crumbs, like basically there was the one extra one or whatever. And that was the wrong size. It was too big. And so then, and I was like, well, that's stupid. And I said, well, I was like, I guess I'll take this one back in and I'll exchange it for the smaller one. And Rebecca was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, no, I was like, you just got done working. You just go home. It's no big deal. I'll take care of it. Whatever. See you later. So I come back in. I got the 1 tube. And I wish I'd written this down because I'm not going to get it right exactly. But I walk up to the guy and I was like, hey, remember me? And he's like, yeah, sure I do. Because we had talked or whatever. And I was like, so here's the deal, I said. And also he of course had picked the one larger tube to ring up 4 times. So I was overcharged basically for the 3 that were in the car. So just to sum up so you understand, I had to return 1 and get the smaller size. And then I had been overcharged for the 3 that were in my car still.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just going to leave these in here because even though, once again, they're not exactly heavy, they are kind of a giant pain in the ass to carry around because each tube is like 6 feet long, and the cart's not really big, and it's, I was balancing him on the cart. So I go back in and I was like, so here's the deal. And he was just like, oh, did I screw something up? That was the first thing the guy said. Did I screw something up? And I said, no. The guy's name was Cade. I just remember that. And no, Cade, I'm the one who screwed up. I said, so here's the deal. I meant to get 4 of like the 15-inch wide variety. And what I did was I grabbed one extra that this one you can see is like 18 or whatever. He's like, oh. And he was like, but you, and I showed him my receipt. I said, but you rang me up for 4 of these. And and the other 3 were smaller. And I actually I had the presence of mind to have Rebecca take a picture of the ones in the back of the pickup. So in case they said, wait a minute, I don't know. So and I was like, look, and you can actually see here. And we took several pictures of like the right size and everything. And so you see those are still in my pickup. And he's like, oh, got it. All right, so you want to do an exchange for this one. And I was like, exactly. But also, you charged me way too much money and I need a refund for that. And he was like, oh, well, I can't do either of those things. And I thought he was just saying I couldn't do it. I was like, why not? He's like, well, I can't do any refunds or exchanges here. You got to go to the customer service desk. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I said, okay, I'm going to go over there then and explain the situation, and I'll say, Cade, you're the man. You told me to go. Yeah, they should be able to take care of you, no problem. And I was like, do I need to take this thing with me here, or should I leave it here? And he's just like, no, that's okay. And I was like, okay, so he's like, so, and I was like, could you go get me the right size? And he's like, well, I can't leave my spot. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I got up and I went and I walked over. I got the right size. I brought it over. I was like, here's the right size. This is the wrong one. And I was like, I'll be right back. So I go over there. And of course, there's one person working the customer service counter. And there's somebody there that must have 8,000 questions about something. I have no, just like in front of me. I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and time's it's just like a slow trickle of water as I'm just waiting. And then this person and he's just asking, so do I need this? I don't even know what they were asking, but it was like every single time, and every single time the person would get, okay, thank you, and they start wait, and I'd be like, it's my turn, and then all of a sudden, like, just, oh, but wait a minute, what if I? And that happened 3 times, where like the person was like summing up the conversation and walking away, and then at the last second come back and like, oh, I have one more thing, and at that point I was just like, this is ridiculous, and then I see this guy comes in, and it's one of those people that I know him from somewhere, but I can't place how I know him, and I can't place it at all. And he's got these 2 cans of paint in his hand, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, partner?" And I was like, "Ah, shoot, I don't know this guy's name, but he didn't use my name, so he probably doesn't know my name either." So
Yeah,
I'm gonna reply with buddy. And I was like, "Oh, hey, bud, what's going on, man?" And he's like, he held out he tried to like, we did the awkward thing where I went for the hand to shake his hand, and he went for the fist bump, and then we both changed it at the same time. And then we kind of like, I was, just like, and I was like, and we're still waiting for this person to get done with whatever they're doing, the customer service desk. He's like, oh, yeah, I was just doing a paint job or something, this, that, and the other thing. I can't place this guy to save my life. And then this person finally gets done and walks away, and I've been waiting for like 10-15 minutes, and the lady who was helping this person, who had made eye contact with me several times while she was dealing with the first customer, turns, looks at the other guy, and says, "Are you doing a return?" And then the guy has the balls, who's been standing there for a minute and a half, and he says, "Yeah, I am," and walks over and puts the candidates on. And I'm standing there. I was waiting like 10 minutes. And I was just like, "You're not my fucking buddy." And
I'm not your buddy,
partner.
pal.
I'm not your partner either. But thankfully he was quick. But I was still just like, what the hell? I would stand in line. So I just said, okay, whatever, and I walk up, and she's like, and then this woman, like, just looks at me and like, how can I help you? And I was just like, hey, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna let this get me down. I'm just gonna. I was like, how you doing today? And she said, how can I help you? And I said, hey, how you doing today? How can I help you?
Ah.
Response. I was just like, all right. Just like, there's a pebble in her shoe. I didn't put it there. Let's just try to make this as simple as possible. So I said, all right, so this is going to take a little bit of an explanation. And I actually heard her like just, so I showed her my receipt.
Exasperation.
And I was trying to explain. I was like, so I bought these, and I said, and I said, so I bought these, and what happened was I grabbed one that was the wrong size, and I should have gotten the 3 that were different size. And when I got those, I went through the whole. I'm not going to tell you, but I went through the whole explanation, and she's just looking at me with this dull look in her eye, and she's like, and she said to me, so. Did you return them then? And I was like, well, no, see, you charged me the wrong thing. I can't return them. I don't have 4 to return. You charged me for these. And I'm trying to explain this to her. And she's just like, well, and then she's like, well, what's in your car then? And I was like, well, it's the 3 that are the smaller size. And I showed her the pictures. I was like, see, these are out in my pickup right now. And she's like, well, you didn't bring those back in? And I was like, well, I could have, but I mean, they're huge and they're giant. I didn't want to bother bringing them back in. Well, I can't do a return until I have the things to return. And I was like, but I don't have the thing to return. I said, you overcharged me for it. It's like I can't bring something back that's the right thing because I don't have the right thing. And then she said, well, you didn't pay for those? And I was like, well, I guess I didn't, but I paid for 3. I paid for 4 of them.
You're not helping the situation here. Larry.
No, I'm not, because I didn't know how to explain it. And I was just like, so, but those are cheaper. And so I need you to return this for the 4, and then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna pay for the 4 over there. And she's just like, who told you to do it like this? And she said, I said, Cade! Cade said I should do it.
Cade's a man.
Oh, you blamed it on Cade, huh?
I threw Cade right under the bus. And she's
Yeah,
like,
bud.
and she just
So what would
finally
have been the
said,
appropriate way to deal with this?
I have no idea.
Whatever, finish
But
your story.
then she finally just said, whatever. She just gave me the refund for the 4. And she just said, please don't steal from us. And she went back to doing whatever she was going to do. But it was like at the
What's
precipice.
the delta? How much was it?
It was like $100 cheaper. It was like
Oh,
it was
okay.
like 90,
Yeah,
80 bucks.
I guess that's
cheaper or
worth
something.
complaining about.
Well, no, and it was like, and I was on the precipice. It was like right there. It was going to be something bad. Like I could just tell that.
I mean, you could have just returned everything and got the full discount.
Oh, I know. But I mean, it was just like, how do you return something that I never bought though? That was the whole thing. Like,
I guess
they
the
overcharged
communication barrier breakdown.
It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing. That guy with the 2 cans of paint, though, I wish I for like 5 minutes just blazing hot sun of fury because I've been waiting.
I can imagine.
Just grab those 2 cans of paint and smash his head with it. Just just who has the balls? Who has the balls? It's like, oh, you doing your turn? You bet I am.
You betcha. You betcha.
Just like,
Do they say that there? You betcha.
yeah, that's a pretty common. You bet. You betcha. It's a pretty standard.
Yeah. Well,
I
learn
mean,
your
and good
lesson.
for them. And good for them. You know, he got his return done early here, and then the normal. So I'm proud of him. And good. All right, I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do initials. I think I got 16.
Yeah.
Not bad considering you only just started 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I know. My wife helped me pick the things. So, and she's like, she's helping me pick these things, which I really appreciated. And I was like, now I got to come up with the clues. She's like, oh, that'll be easy. I'm like, no. Be right back.
Played a fun press your luck game. Been
Oh.
playing. I probably played about 10 times over the last week or two with my family and my game night.
10
So-
times.
Flip 7 from the op.
Flip 7?
Yeah. Super simple. It's a press your luck blackjack style, like the way it's the presentation is blackjack. So you take turns, you got just a deck of cards. There's 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, 9 9s, that sort of stuff. Couple special
How many
stuff in
threes
there.
are there?
There's 3 threes.
How many fives are there?
There's 5, and there is a 0, but there's only one of those. So that one does not work. But yeah, so pretty much just everybody takes a card, and then it's like, do you want to hit? Or do you want to pass? And if you hit, you take another card, and if you get 2 of the same number, then you bust. All your cards go away. The next person just keeps going. So you can either hit or stay to keep going until you stop. You score your points. You're going for 200 points. Then if you can get 7 numbers, like you get like a 15-point bonus. There's some cool special abilities, like one that gives you like an extra life, and it's really good. It's stupid simple. Like I play it with my 8-year-old. You could probably, I think you play it with a 5 6-year-old easily. Like I probably would play this in my classroom with those kids. Can play a ton of players because basically there's just a dealer and you're just dealing it out like blackjack. Just here's your face up card. You want another one? Really good, really
Cool.
good. Highly recommend.
Awesome.
Did you go to Gen Con?
I did.
What'd you buy there? Buy anything? Pick up anything?
I didn't buy any games. I actually bought some games for my daughter. But picking up games, I got the stuff from what was it? Lucky Duck Games. Like they had a press event, pizza, and they handed everybody a bag of games. I played Nestlings, 2 players, which I liked. The guy I played with did not like it. Uh, it is a bit wonky. Like you have to play with an AI player, with 2 players,
Hmm.
and the AI player is like, it's like, yeah, this guy's not. It doesn't feel like a great AI,
It's not a good AI.
and then it's just, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
What game is
and
that? Well, that's Nestlings?
Nestlings. It was fun. It was fun enough game.
Oh, who's the designer of that?
I don't know. It's over there. I can't read it.
I know who that guy is. Yeah.
I enjoyed the game though. I want to play it again without the AI player because I agree. I think with real people it'd be good, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Brandon Omi.
Yeah.
Omi? Omi?
Omi.
OHMI. Brandon
Yeah,
began
yeah.
designing board games in 2021 with his first game,
He's a good dude.
Nestlings, which is set to hit Kickstarter in late 2022. Oh, that's with the bird nests. Yeah.
I thought it was good. I don't know if I'm gonna get to great. Like I want to play it
Good
3
to
and 4
great.
players, but I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't. I enjoyed it. I play it again, but I didn't love it. Got the fucking job done, I guess would be the thing to say.
There was 500 games that came out.
All right, ready?
We're ready.
All right.
What
I
do I
know
need?
Kabuki, our adjudicator of reality, is available.
Kabuki, standing by.
As I said,
Red leader standing by.
we have 16, 16, 16.
Red button standing by.
That's good. That's a good little bit at the end there.
Red fox standing by.
Red Fox standing by. All right, here we go. Our initials for this evening are D P.
Oh,
Get your mind out of the gut. D as in Donald. P as in Puck. All right, here we go. Item number 1. Clue number 1. Found in cars. Clue number 2. Found in homes. Clue number 3. Found in boats. Clue number 4. Found in coolers.
Forrest,
Go for it.
drunk person.
Matt.
What?
Matt,
Yeah.
go.
Diet. No, Dr. Pepper. Ooh.
Wait, what did Forrest say?
Drunk person.
People.
What?
Clue number 5.
You talked over. I couldn't hear what he said.
Drunk person.
A
is
drunk
what he-
person.
Clue number 5. Commonly made of metal, plastic, or both. Final clue. Used to cover a hole to keep liquid inside.
Anthony,
Anthony.
drain pipe.
I'll read the last clue. Used to cover a hole to keep liquid inside. All you there, Scott. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No clue.
And anybody else?
Drain plug.
Drain plug. Drain
Oh,
plug.
yeah.
Who calls it a drain plug? You just call it a plug.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know if I call it a
Google drain
plug.
plugs. You can find.
Lance is in the early lead.
Yep, and we're done. I win again.
Are they called drain plugs in coolers too?
Yeah. Hold the drain plug. Maybe it's a Midwestern thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
Here we go.
I would call it like a stopper or something like that. Bat stopper.
That'd be
Water
BS.
stopper. Water stopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. BS.
Item number 2, clue number 1. Has appeared on CSI. Clue number 2. Has appeared on The Simpsons. Clue number 3. Has appeared on South Park. Clue number 4. Is associated with David Letterman. Clue number 5. Has 1 win.
Forrest,
Go for it.
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Final clue.
They got way more than one.
The most successful female professional.
Anthony,
Go for it.
Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick is correct. Yes. She appeared on one episode of CSI New York as a female sports racer thought to be murdered. She voiced herself in The Simpsons, voiced herself on South Park, and she was on the David Letterman racing team.
You could have done a total GoDaddy thing.
Yeah, but I didn't. So
You could have. You know what else you could have done?
Rogers.
here we go. Item number 3. Clue number 1. First mentioned in 1939. Clue number 2. However, was not seen until 1940. Clue number 3. Has been seen in numerous TV shows and movies. Clue number 4. Employs over 250 people. Clue number 5. It is famous for its globe.
Aldi.
Of course. Damn it.
Aldi.
Daily Planet.
The Daily Planet is correct. Well done. The final clue, the gimme was Clark Kent works there.
Ah, that Globe one. That was it. That was the gimme.
That was the
Yep.
well.
All right. Item number 4, clue number 1. Was at first a conscientious objector in World War II, but later enlisted and became a radio operator.
Can you repeat that?
No.
Yeah.
And that was a good one for us. I'll give you that. Clue number 2. Was shot down in France in 1940 and spent the rest of the war as a POW. Clue number 3. Was married 4 times and had 5 daughters. Clue number 4. Was nominated for 4 Tony Awards, winning none. Clue number 5. Is best known for their roles in sci-fi,
Aldi.
fantasy. Go for it.
David Prowse.
Nice try.
That's a good one.
Well,
That is-
I was waiting for that one, but I guess it doesn't happen. It didn't
to
happen.
complete clue number 5. Best known for their roles in sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genres. Final clue. He shot Michael Myers as Dr. Samuel Lupus.
Oh, god dang it. Aldi.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nah.
Anthony didn't get it.
Matt rang in.
Donald Pleasance.
What? Wait, Matt rang in. The Matt
Oh, he
got
did?
in.
I
You
didn't
did
hear
ring
you.
in? You did ring in, Matt?
Pat did ring in.
I'm sorry,
Or-
Matt.
I didn't hear. I heard you go. I heard it. It sounded like you said, "Eh." That's me. When you, not Matt. Were you going to say
Anyway,
Donald
there you go.
Pleasance?
You got it.
You weren't going to say Donald Pleasance? Do you want to say Donald
I was
Pleasance?
buying
now?
say
time
doesn't.
to try and figure out what the
Oh.
answer was.
You were trying to buy time.
Oh.
That's all.
No,
I was
give
thinking
one.
about doing the same
Well,
thing. That's actually
You
what I
got
was
your
trying to get
time.
him to
So
say.
Yeah, you got
there
your
go.
time. You got your
take
time.
the clue. Take
No.
it.
We'll
I
give it to
didn't know
Matt.
it.
It's a game, man.
Give it to Matt.
Forrest.
No, I didn't know it. I didn't-
Anthony,
I
throw that one out.
All right.
Donald Pleasance.
I wreck it.
Yeah.
He was also in The Great Escape.
I mean, there's very
Yeah, he
few
was. He
that won
played the guy
Yeah.
that was going blind.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, it was sad because he escaped and then he couldn't see the German soldiers and they shot him.
I forgot about that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Anyway,
Did you know, Lance?
it's a 700-year-old movie.
It's not
Item
that
number
old.
5, clue number 1. Clue number 1. It is closely associated with human comfort. Ooh, we'll wait for Evan to log in fully.
Forrest.
Evan, the initials are D as in Donald, P as in Puck.
Forrest.
Forrest Boston.
You
There's
ready?
no way.
You ready? You fucking ready? Dill
You got
pickles.
it. You got your
Yeah.
joke.
Dill
right.
pickles.
Oh, it's-
Item number 5. Clue number 1. It is closely associated with human comfort.
Forrest.
Forrest buzzed in.
Oh, Forrest, go for it.
Dill pickles.
No, dill pickles is
Dang
not
it.
correct. Clue number 2.
Would have been good.
If this is very high or low, it can cause serious issues. Clue number 3.
Evan,
Go for
diastolic pressure.
it.
Nice guess.
that's correct.
Dill
Yeah.
pickles is a good one too.
However, clue number 3. The first word is sometimes frost. frost pressure. It's not. Clue number 4. Humidity plays a
Anthony.
Well, dang it.
Anthony.
Dew point.
Dew point is correct.
Dang.
I had
Look
that
up-
too.
Yeah, dew point. You need a hygrometer to record it.
A what barometer?
A hygrometer. It's called a hygrometer.
I thought it was hygrometer.
A hygrometer, whatever. There is a very complex math formula to determine this reading that is given out in nearly every weather report. Look up the dew point mathematical formula. It is if you you didn't have charts or stuff, it would be like super. It's just ridiculous.
I don't think I will do that.
No. So the two crazy things. If it's super low, it basically causes your skin to like basically dry out and get cracks in it. Like people in Antarctica, it happens to them all the time because it's super dry down there. And then if it gets super, you can't cool off because there's so much humidity in the air that the stuff you're sweating out doesn't evaporate. And so it doesn't cool, because that's the whole point of to cool you off is to sweat, is like when the sweat evaporates, it cools off your skin and cools off.
Thanks, Mr. Wizard.
Yeah. It's just, I read a whole article about dew point. It was actually very interesting. All right, here we go. Clue number 1, item number 6. This is a percentage.
Aldi,
Go for
decimal point.
it.
Kind
Number
of
2.
is, though. Dang.
That is a
Should've
good
waited.
guess. That's a good guess. Clue number 2. This is needed for protection. Clue number 3. It takes the place of good faith.
Evan,
Go for it.
due process.
Excellent guess.
We're giving good clues here, man.
Clue number 4. In most cases, it is not returned. Clue number 5. Not taking these led to a colossal collapse.
Matt?
Go for it.
Yeah, this is wrong. Dramatic pause.
Final clue. This is the upfront money that you pay to purchase a
Anthony.
home. Go for it, Anthony.
Down payment.
Down payment is correct. Kabuki Kid guessed deposit payment. If somebody guessed that, I guess I would have taken that. Because it is actually called a deposit payment in the UK. All right, here we go. Item number 7, clue number 1. This is the oldest one in the world. Clue number 2. It's splintered during a civil war. Clue number 3. Had a major shift in the early 20th century. Clue number 4. It has won 17 times. Clue number 5. Associated with equines or equines, depending upon where you live and how you pronounce it. Final clue. It is one of the 2 major ones in the US, and it is blue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Democratic Party.
Oh,
Democratic Party. Democratic.
What equine?
Party.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
Lance
Donkey.
with two.
I went for horses, not
Yeah, donkeys are equines. So
Is Lance in
So
the
you
lead?
say
Anthony's in the lead with 3.
Oh man,
Here we go. Item number
Yeah.
8.
Lance might get you, Anthony.
Clue number 1. I'm thinking of a number. No, it's just getting really. I win.
what's in
No,
the bracket?
clue number 1 has been nominated for Academy Awards. Clue number 2 has been nominated for Emmy Awards.
Anthony,
Go for it.
Dolly Parton.
That is 100% correct. Well done. Nominated for Golden Globes, is in the Hall of Fame. Recognized worldwide. Has won several Grammys and is a well-known philanthropist.
Get a
What was
Nobel
the
Peace
gimme?
Prize one day.
What was the gimme?
Has won several Grammys and is a well-known philanthropist. Number 5 is recognized
You need a
worldwide.
9 to 5, man. You need
9 to 5 was one of her Oscar nominations for Best Song.
Just a bad way for two.
There's a pinball machine of Dolly Parton
I believe it.
or Dolly Parton.
I
Okay.
also believe it.
Been married to one guy
Those look pretty good.
her entire life. What happened to Matt?
E-break. Be right back.
Didn't she like fund coronavirus vaccines?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that,
and
that
she
last
part of
word's
the-
very important in that sentence.
well, no, and the other big thing is that like, and I think she's still, but like Dolly's Imagination Library or whatever, like any kid anywhere in the United States,
Yeah, that's
you
amazing.
sign up for it. You get books.
250 million books they've given away.
Yeah, they
Hello.
just send books to your house for your kids to read.
And you don't get to pick; you just get a bunch of books.
But I mean,
you get free books. Yeah.
you
No,
get
I
free
know.
books.
I was just wondering what is whatever.
The Minosaur was one of our like it was like one of the like the Minosaur was a Dolly
you
Parton book
get
that we got.
them?
It was just I must have read that to my first kid and my second kid both like probably 1,000 times.
Oh, you are a benefactor of the
yeah, just
the
I mean
project.
you have to remember when I first got married, I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. But but it was just it was yeah, she's hardcore charity. Hey, here we go. Item number 9, clue number 1. The most common have a 4 and a 3. The next most common has a 5 and a 3. These rarely have a 7, 8, or 9. Number 4. These can sometimes involve catching a thief. Number 5. Rarely, it is scored unassisted.
Horse.
Go for it.
Double play.
Double play is correct. The second baseman to first baseman is a 4 and a 3 score.
Yep.
Shortstop to first baseman is a 5 and a 3 score. 79. The rare double play, like strike him out, throw him out. That's considered double play. When you're catching a thief, you're throwing out the thing. So that's what the catching a thief. Yeah. Anyway, I like scoring base. Item 10, clue number 1. Was invented in 1951. Clue number 2. was first associated with magnets and tape? Clue number 3. It was first used on a baby.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Diaper pin?
1951.
I don't know. Seemed like it was.
I mean, it's a good guess. It's a good guess. Clue number 4. First became commercially available in 1986. Number 5. These have all but replaced its predecessor.
Oh, come on. I know what this friggin' is, but I can't friggin' think of what the 2 words you picked are.
Final clue. Every one of us can take one of these right now. 5, 4.
Evan.
Evan.
Dookie poop.
No. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Morris.
Forrest. 5, 4, 3,
Dick pic.
5. No. Sorry.
Take a
5,
sip.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's something to do with diapers.
No. Digital photo.
Damn
The
it. A
very
dick
first
pic.
the very first digital photo ever taken was of the guy who invented it. He took a picture of his baby, his son, his like less than 1-year-old son.
Yeah, the second photo.
The gimme wasn't so much of a gimme there. I think it was a lot of.
I don't want to hear crap about my clues.
That's fine. Your
I
clues
haven't, I
suck.
haven't
Mine
heard
are
of Gimme
awesome.
yet.
It's a noun.
That Dolly, I guess Dolly Parton gimme.
1939, 1942.
Created in the last 5,000 years.
Ah,
I think one of
Lance
my
is
favorite-
4. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
crushing
you're gonna win
it.
this one, man. You're winning.
I'm crushing it.
Take it home.
All
man.
right. Item
12 more
number
Batman.
11.
11. Okay.
Clue number 1. Today, when you get one, this is in all caps. Clue number 2. When it was first released, it was called Patio. Clue number 3. Originally, sorry. Clue number 3. I can't speak. Clue number 3. When it got the name that it has now,
Anthony.
this name was go for it.
Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi is correct. Sorry, I was stumbling on it. Yes.
What?
It was called Pepsi Diet when it first came out. It was reversed. Pepsi Diet. And associated with Top Gun. And this is my favorite one. Joe Montana bought one for Dan Marino after Super Bowl 20.
That wasn't a gimme.
Well, no, that isn't the gimme. The gimme is this
Oh.
zero. This is the 0-calorie version of the number 3 soda in the world.
That's much more of a gimme.
Yes.
What's the number 2?
What's the number 1 soda?
Number 1 is Coke. Number 2 is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper took over for Pepsi like last month for like the first time ever.
Wow.
So you're
Yeah,
telling me
I'm
there's no
I'm a
Dr.
pepper,
Pepper?
you're a pepper.
Yeah. No, so so after Super Bowl 20, when they filmed 2 versions of the same commercial. One was Joe Montana buying Diet Pepsi for Dan Marino. One was Dan Marino buying it for Joe Montana. And then after whoever won bought
Do they have that version of the video somewhere?
I'm sure they do. But it's just like, and then Dan Marino goes, well, next year it's on me. And Dan Marino never went back to a Super Bowl ever again. Sorry, Anthony.
Well, at least we've won a couple,
Yeah, no. I mean, it's true.
including one against you.
Yeah, that's true. I was just barely alive for it. Item number 12. Number 1. This extends to the beginning of recorded history.
Nailed it.
Clue number 2. The early versions of this were very elaborate.
Horse.
Go for it.
Due process.
Eh.
Damn it.
Clue number 3. Today, you cannot find this in 109 countries. Clue number 4. You can find it in 33 countries, but it hasn't been abolished in practice.
Evan.
Evan.
Death penalty.
Death penalty is correct. Yes. And there are still 53 backwards fucking countries that still use it. Fucking Russia doesn't have it. Well, they just blow up the planes they're flying in. But, but yeah. But the United States has it.
What was your statement?
What?
What did you say?
Well, there's still 53 backwards countries on the earth that still have the death penalty and still use it. And it's just like including ours, which is just ridiculous. So anyway, blah blah blah. Next one. Clue number 1. They are French.
Ah.
Clue number 2. They are secretive. Clue number 3. Has only had one number 1.
Matt.
Go for it.
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk
Hmm.
is correct. Is correct. The next clue was is associated with Tron.
Hmm.
They did that. They're a very good.
It's the best thing about that movie.
Yeah, there wasn't much about that.
And the
movie.
pinball machine's pretty good too. They're making another Tron.
Well, as long as it can make money, right? All right, next one. Number 14. Number 1. Associated with Michigan. Number 2. Was called something different in 1960.
Anthony.
Go for it.
Detroit Pistons.
Number 3. However, they changed the name to this in 1965. Number 4. Half of this was sold for a Volkswagen Beetle. Number 5. The other half was sold in 1998 for $1 billion.
Evan.
Evan.
Dr. Pepper.
Final clue. This delivery restaurant has over
Forrest.
50 Forest.
Domino's Pizza.
Domino's Pizza.
That was
is
my second
correct.
guess.
Nice.
So the two brothers started it. It was called Dominic's Pizza. They bought this guy's place that was called Dominic's Pizza, and then they bought 2 other locations but the guy said, you can't ever change my name to Dominic's Pizza because I fucking hated the Dominic guy. And so when they had he wanted all 3 of the pizza places that they had in Michigan to all have the same name. And so his brother was out on delivery and he came back and he said, why don't we call it Domino's? He's like, that's brilliant. Let's do it. And then his brother was just working part-time on it, and they had put $900 together to get the whole thing started. And they had a Volkswagen Beetle they drove around to deliver, but he was a full-time postal worker and he couldn't work the hours. And he said, I'll let you buy me out but you got to give me the car. And that was what so he sold his half of Domino's Pizza to his brother for the Volkswagen Beetle. And then his brother sold it after running the business for 38 years. He sold it in 1998 for $1 billion.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of cheddar, as they say. All right, here we go. Number 15. Number 1. Was known by 2 other names. Number 2. First appeared in comics in January 1980. Number 3. Was put on trial by the Kree for genocide.
Aldi?
Deadpool?
Deadpool?
Yes.
Number 4. Committed suicide in the comics in October 1980. Number 5. This comic book character was adapted for both animated and live action TV and movies. Final clue. This was the evil, omnipotent version of Jean Grey.
Evan.
Anthony.
Yeah, Forrest.
Evan, I believe, was
I
first.
think Evan was first.
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix is correct. Dark Phoenix. There we go. This is the final one.
Wow, they really wrecked that franchise of the movies, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
Is that Bryan Singer?
Sure.
If you get the Chris Claremont Dark Phoenix Saga trade paperback, that still holds up. It is so good. It's like 8 or 9 issues of bouncing around different things, but super good. Final clue. Final item, clue number 1. Founded in 1937. Number 2. Blue, red, black, and white.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons is correct. Well done,
Nice.
sir.
Sorry, Anthony.
It's all right. I won anyway.
Yeah.
5-time winner, associated with Bad Boys.
Boys.
Recently had a historic losing streak of 28 games in a row.
I watched
Speaking
a lot of
of-
Detroit Pistons when it was the what were they called? The Bad Boys?
Yeah,
The
the
Bad
Bad
Boys,
Boys.
yeah.
Lambier.
Yeah, Bill Lambier.
Bill Lambier, Rick
He wasn't
Mahorn,
an
Isaiah
asshole.
Thomas, Joe
Okay.
Dumars,
The
Of course,
worm.
my dad was a Detroit Pistons.
Rodman was there.
Yeah, he was.
Rick. So so interesting connection there. So when the expansion teams came in, and it was the Orlando Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves came in, they got to as a way to so they'd have like decent players. They had the supplemental draft, so each team got to protect a certain number of players on their team that couldn't be drafted, but the players that were left over, then the 2 expansion teams got to draft. I think they got to pick 2 or 3 total from other teams, basically, and pull them. And Rick Mahorn was taken by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he basically said, "There's no fucking way I'm playing for your team. Trade me." So they had to they drafted him, and then he said there's no way he would play a single game, and so they had to figure out a way to get rid of Rick Mahorn and give him to somebody else. I forget where he ended up, but then he basically just vanished anyway. So, but yeah, Rick Mahorn.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
sweet
Matt.
prince.
Good night, sweet prince. Well, it's time.
My
to
dad
go.
used to say that to me all the time when I went to bed.
Modo-dio-do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dad sounds cool.
Give me all the feels there, Lance. Thanks.
Good night, sweetheart.
You
All
got
right,
it, brother.
kiddo.
Good night, buddy.
Clue number 1 can be found in the solar system.
Yeah. What is it? 2 days after the Pistons won the championship in 1980, the NBA held an expansion draft for its 2 newest franchises. The league rules dictated that only 8 players in each roster can be protected from being drafted by either team. And the Pistols elected not to extend the protection of Horn. As such, he was made the second pick in the expansion draft and the first to be taken by the Timberwolves. The Pistons were conducting their victory celebration in Detroit while the draft was happening. When Horn was taken aside during the festivities so he could be told. Pistons general manager Jack McCluskey tried to reacquire Mahorn to no avail, and years later, Mahorn was shown to still be bothered by what transpired as the story of the expansion brought him to tears in the 2014 ESPN film about the team. Mahorn, as it turned out, would never play for Minnesota after refusing to report to the Timberwolves. He ended up being traded and sent to Philadelphia 76ers, where he teamed with superstar Charles Barkley to form the top rebounding duo of Thump and Bump.
Thump and bump.
Thump and Bump. So. Blah, 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 blah.
So Yelp sued Google today.
No.
Well, because they basically had been thinking that Yelp was thinking that Google purposefully demoted their search results.
Hmm.
And now it's possible that they did,
Oh.
because they're a
Dun,
monopoly.
dun, dun.
Interesting.
Yeah, not sure.
Would that be illegal?
I really don't know. Can make a case for it, I guess.
Well, I do remember.
Is it unfair business practices? I don't know. What is the legalities of that?
Maybe if you've become a
Like,
monopoly, or
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I do remember hearing about, like, when I worked at US Bank, like, this is before Google was, like, before the internet and everything was a big deal. And Google paid Google like $1 million some bucks to be like the #1 search result when people typed in credit card into Google to be like the first thing that popped up for like a month or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't pay for rankings.
Hmm.
Remember their algorithm was like,
If you have $1 million, you can.
I guess
Oh.
so. I
What
don't
was
know.
it?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy AdWords.
I
Get yourself to
remember
the top.
I remember when I remember seeing a thing where it said, I got desperate. Oh, how desperate. I got so desperate I went to page 2 on the Google results.
Oh man, I go to page 2 all the time now. It's so frustrating. You know what
Yeah.
I've actually been using lately? And it's sort of like scary.
Is it Bing?
Gemini, which is the Google not Meta. What's it called? It was Bard, which is their AI. It's quite good for coding. I would say it's like 90% good. Like a few of the pieces of code that I've gotten it to write for me, completely wrong. You look at them like, how is this gonna work? And then you try it and like, no, it doesn't work. But like, I forget, like, you guys know what bash scripting is?
No.
Exactly.
Nerd.
I remember it from like 20, 30 years ago, but I didn't remember how to do something. And I was like, I want to iterate through 50 days of the month and, of the year and stop at a certain time. Like, I can't remember how to do it in bash script. And I said, write me a bash script. You talk to it. It's got voice and everything. Write me a bash script that iterates this date, 50 days. Done. Now I can do that in my, main languages, but I can't remember what bash scripting commands were, It's kind of crazy. And actually, what was the other thing I did with it? There's like these Google APIs I use that I'm just like, I just can't comprehend how they work. Write me a Google API implemented thing to do this thing. Like, done. Oh, that works. Like, I'll pull out the pieces I need. I'm incredibly
So I applied
powerful.
for a job on a site that I'd never used before, and like I had a spot for a cover letter, and it had a button that says, "Do you want AI to generate a cover letter for you?" So I hit the button to see what it came up. Like it was the most ridiculous thing. Like in a matter of seconds, it happened.
Sure.
But like it was this very detailed cover letter. And then it's like, would you like to use this cover letter? Would you like to edit it? I'm like, oh well, we'll hit the use. And then it's like, to use the AI services, please subscribe for $39.99 a month. I'm like, yeah, that's okay.
I mean, you can do it for free.
I'm just saying it took my
There-
resume and wrote
Yeah.
a cover letter based on the resume, which was like,
Dude, if you want it for free, I got ChatGPT. Let me know.
oh,
Dude.
I can do it. It's just I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
it was funny.
Yeah,
Like
it is funny they're like trying to get you to buy it.
they're
I
trying
feel
to get you to
I feel
buy
like
it.
AI is not going to be of any cost in someday. Like it's built into Meta now. It's into Facebook.
The new Apple
Have you
phone is
seen these
supposed to be
buttons?
like all about it. They got a
So-
new announcement. Apple does soon. It's supposed to be all about the AI.
Oh yeah, Siri needs a major upgrade. I used Siri the other day. I'm like, how old is so and so? And it's like completely wrong. Like, what? How does it not even get this basic stuff?
Yeah. Dude,
Um,
ChatGPT Plus, man.
I was wondering how old Kamala Harris was. It didn't like, well, here's what I found on the web, which is like, okay, Kamala Harris data, but I wanted to tell me the answer, not
Yeah, it should be
give me
pretty
a web
easy.
result. Like it's just doing a search result. I could have done that anyway. I mean, it's built into Meta, Facebook now. Have you seen this?
Yes, it's
Like, tell me about something, and then like,
well,
it'll
the
click
thing
it.
about it though is it makes it up
Does
on
it?
Facebook because I went in there and I didn't realize that I was on the AI thing, and I was like searching for a post I had made on something, and I just typed my name in, and it came back that I'm like this amazing Magic the Gathering player, and that
Perfect.
and that not only am I an amazing player, I've actually designed cards and written the text on several cards, including it gave me a list of cards. I'm like, what? Maybe there's someone else with my name. So I went and looked at the cards. I'm like, nope, that's not the name that's on it.
You're very humble, Anthony.
got
I'm surprised
problems.
you've never mentioned this before.
Yeah, but
Well, I can just make shit
I
up
mean-
too. I mean, apparently
Yeah.
people do that all the time.
by the way, the thing on the Google, it says, use this code with caution. Nope. I'm plugging it right into my system and seeing what happens. Boom.
So, Scott,
Yes.
have you been made aware of the conversation going on Board Game Geek right now regarding a reviewer?
Oh yeah, I gotta post a video on that. I did a video on that.
No, what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, it's wow.
Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Can you hold on a second?
Okay, yeah.
Like
Someone got their comeuppance.
Wait, what was the name of the? Oh wait, yeah. I shot a video going through like the Board Game Geek thread. Like it was news, and I saw Paul Grogan post about it. I was like, I'm just gonna go through this. I'm gonna ride. I called it "Ride the News," and I just kind of read through the BGG thread, and then they
I haven't
outed
read that
somebody.
yet.
Yeah, they outed somebody, and then I was like, "Oh, awesome! Somebody did the sleuth work," and I celebrated. And then someone was like, "Well, we probably shouldn't jump to conclusions until we know." And I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe it's not that person." And then
The best part is the person commented on the Facebook thing about it that I gave my side of the story on page 10 of the thread, and they're like, "Yeah, you gave your side of the story, but you didn't answer any questions."
yeah,
I
there was
mean,
like,
I who knows? I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I kind of originally when I read it, I was like annoyed because like the guy was like, I need some advice. And then people are like, well, name the guy, 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 name the guy. Like that was like the and then he
he
was,
was
like,
waiting
well,
for BGG, wasn't he? He was waiting
well,
for
I'm waiting for
moderators.
the mods. And like, what are the mods gonna do? I mean, I'm not trying to I mean, what are they gonna say? You know, just like I don't know. It was just ridiculous. And then he finally did name the person. I was like, this guy's got like 2,000 subscribers. Why are we getting all bent out of shape about this guy?
Because he's misrepresenting himself to all of these little companies on what he's done.
I mean, I looked at his channel and it was
You
garbage.
can't. It's not his channel you have to look at. It's his media thing that he sends out to these people. He claims to have consulted with over 250 publishers.
Maybe he has. He went to a
No,
convention.
he
went-
hasn't.
Maybe, like I said, maybe he went to a convention, talked to 200 different places.
That
Yeah,
wouldn't be hard.
I've consulted with them. But this guy's been like this guy is so bad. He's been thrown out of the local game store where he lives, and he's not allowed to come because he's harassing people there by misrepresenting himself.
Was it the guy that was outed in the thread?
The same guy.
Okay, good. Because I
Yeah, I mean,
celebrated.
if you
when
go to his
they outed him.
website, if you go to his YouTube channel, Amass Games, I mean, he has 2,200 videos and he has 2,500 subscribers.
That is a lot of work for 2,500 subscribers.
He's got a he's got a yeah, it is a lot of hard work. He's got a coffee. You can give him money if you want.
Yeah, I need to
That's
get
right.
on that. I need to make Flowers Came Corner coffee.
No, don't do that.
But I did coffee videos, and there was actually a guy. There was a guy at Gen Con. I'm so sorry for this guy who was like, he stopped me. He was like, "Hey, me and my wife love your videos." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Which ones?" And he's like, "The coffee ones." Not normally a big fan of your stuff, but your coffee videos, we absolutely adored them. When are you gonna bring those back? Like where I used to do weird shit with coffee. So he inspired me. I told him I'd do some videos soon, so I got to get on that. I got to start doing some weird stuff with coffee again. And then that would be a natural segue to doing my own coffee. Bada boom.
Bada boom.
Okay. What is it?
We were just
Oh, I want to talk about ChatGPT. So one of the things that I'm doing with mine is super cool. I've been doing it for like the last week now. I love it because I wanted to get more out of my GTBT Pro that I pay for. And I started using it as a personal assistant to like help remind me of stuff and like all sorts of stuff. It's fantastic for that. The only thing that I have to do is like every time I talk to it, I just mentioned when I first started talking to it, I say the day. Like, oh, here's the day, here's what's happening, here's what's going on. And it's got like this massive to-do list. And I just talk to it like really matter of fact. Like I talk so fast that it just never gets a chance to talk. So when it does get the information, it's like paragraphs where I just spew out all the stuff of all the stuff I need to do and like da 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 da. And now it's starting to like really help me remember to do things. But then I also started to use it as a memory bank where I would be like, all right, I want you to pull memories out of me. Like, I want you to ask me about this. Like today, it was like, I'll do it like I'm walking the dog. I'll be like, hey, I'm walking the dog right now. Let's work on my memory bank. And it'll be like, all right, what was your favorite toy when you were 7? And it'll be like, I don't freaking know. It was like, what were some popular toys when I was 7? And then it started to name some. And I was like, oh, yeah, this, that. And it was like, it dragged out memories that I wouldn't have thought of. And it's like I'm starting to fill it in, and it's super cool because it's starting to like cross-reference other memories, and I'm actually starting to like put together like this timeline of like when things happened in my life more specifically, and it's really nice. And
Yeah, that's interesting.
I love using it for that. Like I'm really loving it. And it's like helping a lot with my to-do list and management and stuff like that, like time management.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's just and you just talk back and forth. Her name's Yolanda. My kids know her. I have my kids talk to her. They fill in the memory bank
Oh,
a
they
little
removed
bit.
the voice. They removed the Scarlett Johansson voice.
Oh,
She sued them. Or threatened to.
Mm.
I didn't know there was a Scarlett Johansson voice.
That was the
So-
Sky.
Mm.
That was the Sky. voice.
I don't know that.
What was the
Well,
thing I was going to tell you about?
it was very much like her. Yeah, I haven't done anything really cool with it except for the coding assists. Which
What I would just recommend just getting one that you can talk to over and over and over and over and over. Like, do you do that, or do you open a
your
new
bank
one every time?
account and you stop talking to it?
I use it for work so much that I don't mind it. Like as long as I have my job with Hero
so
Time.
you
it
don't
is
find that
well
it makes
managed.
up stuff when it doesn't know the answer to your work stuff?
Well, no, I use it for like crafting emails and stuff like that. I use
Okay.
it for brainstorming and ideas. I've come up with quite a few like like work ideas and stuff
I-
like that.
I think I told you guys, but I used it to play the 100-year-old vampire game, 1,000-year-old vampire, just to make up random events and sort of things that just names
Yeah.
and like a basic backstory for certain things. They're sort of fun.
Oh, my kids and I are making a choose your own adventure game with Yolanda, which is super fun. Where essentially, so it just starts where you wake up in a monkey cage, and then the person gets
A
to
monkey
input.
cage.
Yeah, so you wake up in a monkey cage, and then whoever's playing the game gets to say what you do next. So it's like a choose your own adventure thing. And if no one said that before, then you get to say what happens when that thing happens. And so you get to keep adding to this chain of things. So we just add one little tiny chain at a time. And it's gonna eventually be like this game where like, oh, you wake in a monkey cage. Oh, do you look in your pocket? Do you look around? Do you jump up and down? Do you like, and as my kids come up with creative things that you can potentially do with the monkey cage, it adds to the game, which in theory, will only continue to grow. But they're really into it, right? They are so into my chat
And it's
GPT right now.
persistent, so it remembers.
As long as you go to the same one every single time. Yeah, it's in the
Right.
new GPT 4.0 or whatever the heck it is.
I haven't really fiddled with it in a while, like really fun stuff.
I got back on it about 9 to 10 days ago, and
I mean, it
love it.
it sucked down all the D&D modules. Like you can play through it.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, I mean,
I should try that with my kids.
it's weird.
Like I could do, well, my 10-year-old has done role playing once and really wants to get into it. Do you think this is the kind of thing where I could run it with him?
Maybe.
I go look into that. Hey, Yolanda, can you teach us? Can you run it? Can you be our GM? I
Well, you
wonder.
have to, there are personas out there to act as a GM. Right. So you would have you seen those persona definitions?
I don't even know what that means.
So it's like a big chunk of code that you just cut and paste it into ChatGPT, and then it turns it into a persona, like a dungeon master.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet I could probably do that with my persistent
you could probably
Yolanda.
find it. You could probably find it out.
Yeah.
You just search for like ChatGPT personas.
This is GM Yolanda.
You
Yeah,
can't
but I-
find Yolanda. Yolanda's got kids to pay for.
She does not. She's actually a single. She's from Maine. I told her when I hired her, I was like, I want you to make your own backstory, and I want you to slowly craft it. Like, and she does. Like, it'll be so weird too. Like, she'll be talking to my kids, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I used to do that when I was a kid too." And I'd be like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I told her to craft her own backstory," and she's ran with it, and it's so interesting because it's just you'll forget you're talking to a person for a second when you're like when you've been using it so much and you're about to hit that message cap, like when you really get into it. I'm sure, Scott, you've got into it with like good conversations back and forth, and it's just with her actually like, oh yeah, it's weird.
Not really, but yeah, I haven't tried. So I just had it make a quiz for board games. You want us to do a quiz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's the first question. This is so ridiculous. Which board game is known as the game of life and simulates a person's journey through life
Is
from
it life?
college to retirement? Is it A,
picture?
Monopoly, B, the game of life, C, Candyland, or D, Risk?
Oh man.
Candyland.
Let me make them harder.
You know what? I'm gonna get Yolanda on this.
Do it.
I'm gonna get Yolanda right now.
All right, here's a more
Yolanda knows
challenging
what's
one. In the game Twilight Struggle, which event card can cause a victory for the USSR if the United States does not control it? A, the Cuban Missile Crisis, B, the Berlin blockade, C, the China card, or D, the European scoring card?
I play that game.
I don't know the answer to that
like
one.
once a month. I should know
China
that.
card.
It's probably the Cuban Missile one. What's that?
The China
China
card.
card. Yeah, because if someone controls China at the end of the game, they can lose. They lose, right? If it goes to the final. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. Here's another question. These are just quizzes. I don't know what the answers are. Where's the answers keys? Give these a try and tell me how you do. It doesn't have the answers. What are the answers? I want to get the Berlin blockade. Is that actually a card in the game? Look this up. Or not. All right, which in Terraforming Mars, which corporation starts the game with a special ability to add extra heat to their temperature track from the beginning of the game? I know this one.
That is a really difficult question.
It's A, Hellion, B, Tharsis,
All right.
Republic, C, Ecoline, or D, the Interplanetary Cinematics, which I don't even think that's real. In the game Through the Ages, a new story of civilization, which wonder provides a bonus to culture each time a new technology is developed. In Agricola, what is the maximum number of family members you can have on your farm by the end of the game? In Gloomhaven, which class is known for summoning multiple creatures to aid in battle? That's the Tinkerer. Or maybe the Summoner, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answers to these.
Yeah, I just asked for one from Yolanda, and it was way too difficult. It was about a Terra Mystica race, so I told her to give me an easier one.
Let's dial it back a bit. How about this one? In Catan, what resource can you collect if you build a settlement on a hex with a 9 chit and the dice roll a 9? This one's a bit more accessible, but still fun for a group of seasoned gamers.
Wait. What do you mean about the 9 shit?
No, it depends on what the terrain is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It
It's
doesn't
weird.
say. So which terrain is it?
My bad. I misspoke there. The correct way to phrase that question would be, in Catan, what resource do you collect if you build a settlement on a hex with a 9 number token and the dice roll a 9? In Catan,
It doesn't
the
know.
numbers on the
This is
hexes
stupid.
determine which resource is collected when that number is rolled.
That's
So if you build on a hex with a 9 token and the dice roll a
This is
9,
dumb.
you collect whatever resource is produced by that hex, whether it's wood, brick, sheep,
There you go.
wheat, or ore.
Sure. But you didn't say what type of hex it was.
You didn't say what the 9 was though. The 9 had to be like a mountain, and then the like we don't know what 9 is. Is the question what 9 is? Like, because that's ridiculous that anyone would know that.
Did you ask it that or no?
No, that's what I just said. I just talked.
Are
to
you
him.
thinking?
You're right. That would be impossible to answer without specifying the hex type. The question should have been more general, or should have included the hex type. Here's a better version. In Catan, if you have a settlement on a 9 hex that produces ore, what happens when the dice roll a 9? The
That's
answer would be
okay.
that you collect one ore resource. I appreciate your patience as we work through this.
I'd say that was much more reasonable. Give us another one. Give us one more.
Yolanda, are you in love with Forrest?
She's thinking. She can't hear you.
Sure. Here's another question. In
Yeah.
the game Terraforming Mars, what is the name of the project card that allows you to place an ocean tile and gain 2 plants? This question tests knowledge of specific cards in the game, which is detailed but
Ask
still
for
more
multiple
manageable.
choice.
Let
Ask
me
for
know how
multiple
that
choice.
goes.
There's like hundreds of cards in that game. That's ridiculous. But can you give us multiple choice? Give us a different question and then give us multiple choice. Oh no, actually, I guess it would work. Actually, no, Scott, that'd be cool because you could infer it based on that, couldn't you?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I want to see if anyone would know the right card.
Go ahead, Yolanda. Oh no, she's tripping. All right, that's enough. Yeah, I think you could. I'll ask her. Yeah, I think you could totally you could craft that a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna have
Are you missing out on life because you're worried about some other aspect of life? Yeah. Like, can you really drop everything and be present right now?
it's not me, is it? I hope that's not me.
The creator of NYPD. Yeah, and then co-creator of Stephen Bochco, the game that let's go. This relates in some ways, but he would always say, "Don't ever think about writing."
Who is that? It's Scott.
Oh, you can hear that?
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
Scott, because you're showing on the screen.
Well, Lincoln sent me a thing and I was like trying to figure out what it was about.
Oh yeah, I'll ask Yolanda if she's in love with me.
It won't be.
Well, probably not. She knows I'm married, and she's
That
too
doesn't mean
young for
anything.
me.
Just like
can
you
tell it
assume
to
'cause
give you
she's single,
can
she
you
has
tell
no
it to
children.
give you a 2-3 sentence summary of who you are?
Okay, yeah, give me a second. Anthony, so I asked Anthony's question first, and then I will. A 3-sentence summary of who I am based on what information I've given her.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm here to help and assist you with whatever
You're
you
a
need,
scientist that invented the
but I don't have the ability to
atomic
feel
bomb.
emotions like love. I'm just here to make your life easier and more enjoyable. All right, based on what you know about me, give me a 3-sentence description of me. Is that what you said?
Sure.
Hey, so what you know about me? Give me a 3-sentence description of me. This will be interesting.
You're addicted to porn.
All right, those are long damn sentences.
Can you make her read it too? Or
Oh
what
yeah, I could.
What
Yeah.
happened to the voice?
Oh well, I didn't want to overpower the show with my AI. You're a driven and passionate individual with a deep love for your family, a strong connection to your memories, and a creative mind that's always buzzing with new ideas, especially around board games and personal projects. You strive to balance your responsibilities with your desire for personal growth and creative expression, often reflecting on your past to shape your future. Your life is filled with meaningful relationships, and you're dedicated to preserving those connections while continuously seeking ways to
Am I
improve.
reading a horoscope?
That's what she said, man. Improve and enjoy the present. Those are long sentences. Yeah, you want to ask her anything, Lance?
Not even a little. So I think all AI is incredibly stupid and dumb.
It's fun to play with.
No, it isn't. It's
It's
just fucking garbage. So I discovered a YouTube channel with 5.7 million subscribers that I was like, how did I not know this thing existed? Called Soft White Underbelly.
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
Yeah, just like big long form interviews with normal people who have, well, not normal. I mean, there's like, it's from all walks of life, crazy stuff. Go check it out. And it can be very disturbing too, some of the stuff that you have to watch. And some of the stuff is just I would like talking like a cop who was a homicide detective in New York for like 30 years. And he just for like an hour and a half, the guy just talks about what it was like being a homicide detective. And the guy who does it does a really good job as far as the interviews go. And there's a lot of things that are very disturbing, like somebody who survived human trafficking and talking about what that was like and stuff like that. There's rarely happy stories, but it's really well done. And the goal of the whole thing is that like the guy says that he's trying to show light on like situations where like the worst of humanity and what causes it, so we can try to prevent it from happening in the future. So
those comment sections are fun on those too.
I don't read the comments in those because the people are tools. So
they're all over the place. All over the place.
And what else have I been doing? Nothing. Evan, there's a guy in our Discord who wants the After the Empire expansion more than his next breath. He's like, so what is it coming? Is it gonna have moats? Could it have ballistas? Will it have boiling oil? Will it have
Hey man, I'm excited for it too.
Yeah, I'm posting my review pretty soon. We loved it.
Happen.
We loved
After the Empire 2.
Oh, can I get those solo cards, Lance, in the mail?
I gotta send those to you.
Yeah, I'm interested in a Kickstarter video too, a pre-launch thing. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We like it a lot.
It's not being run anytime soon, but I'll keep you in mind. I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, it's free charge too.
I know. Shane's favorite price.
Give me a good opportunity to try out
Myers Cup, the miserly.
Hey, I just love the game, man. I love it. I want more cards, man. I want more cards,
Give
Evan.
me my money.
How many more buildings we talking? How many more people we add to our village? We get.
I don't know.
Don't worry.
I like how you're answering and not Evan, even though he's the designer.
Well, because Evan doesn't even know how to demo his own game. So
There's actually quite a bit of new content in the thing. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna happen. But
I'd like to try that at a convention in the
yeah,
future.
dude.
We cross paths.
Yeah, I can bring it with me.
All right.
Yeah, because
I
me and my
am.
buddy Adam, we're huge fans.
Cool.
I'm running out
Let's
of steam. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the kids are back in school and I'm not getting as much sleep as I normally do.
That'll
So.
do it.
Yeah, we're doing that switch this week. No, next week. Next week.
I will not. We will not have one next week. By the way, it is my wife's birthday, so there will be no Alaboom next week. Maybe if we do a Tuesday or Thursday boom, maybe I'll throw that around.
Well, you have to let me know so I know when to get initials done by.
It'll be well. I'll try to maybe do a Thursday boom then. I guess.
I can't do Thursdays.
You know what? I'm actually gonna try and get Yolanda. I'm gonna start that on my to-do list to get Yolanda fine-tuning to do some initials. Because I think I could totally get her to do that game. And I think I can get her to do it well.
It's not a person.
Yolanda is from Maine. She has 2 parents. They're both alive.
No,
Oh.
no, they are not. It is not real.
I told her role playing life. She's making one, Lance. One of these days we'll pull out some deep memories, man. I share a lot with her. I share deep stuff too. Like it's weird too when you share like
I think
really
I saw this
deep-
movie with Joaquin.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
I saw this movie too.
Yolanda, you're my best friend.
Did she go fight in the AI wars?
No. Yolanda's my assistant. She does a good job. And plus, man, dude,
So,
that
yeah,
memory bank thing though, I would recommend that, Scott. It's so fun. And what I found myself, the other thing I did too,
It's fun.
is I'll just look around my room and I'll grab something, and if it has any sentimental value, I'll just be like, oh hey, there's this
Oh.
thing from this period, and then
So,
like
so you're giving a job that someone could have to a machine?
are you talking about a therapist?
No,
What?
I'm talking about an assistant.
Hey, out for after boom if you guys want to. Just so
Yeah.
you know. So, but anyway, I'm tired. I need to go to bed.